sounds you hear are Dylan playing NASCAR Heat 5 on my PS4. I played on the PS5. He's been playing on the PS4. We raced online for hours. Honestly, we'd still be doing it if an actual race wasn't coming on. Have to do more Daytona and Talladega next time. We had some pretty tense Daytona Talladega races, I know that.
Well, that caution at Talladega wasn't no fun, though.
Yeah. Didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, but
by the time we got out of turn 2, we were right
going.
back in the same spot we were.
Battle going.
Yeah. We were well, the shitty part about the caution, we were coming through the tri-oval to the start-finish line to hit the white flag. It's like, oh, caution's out. It's like, thanks.
Don't tell them about this.
Well, that caution at Talladega.
Good to know the audio works. So I'll explain what we're doing. I said I was going to have trucks on one screen, SRX on another. I lied. We're just going to watch SRX, and when that's over, whatever's left of trucks, I'll keep streaming and we'll talk about. But trucks at Knoxville, trucks can kiss my ass. I want to watch SRX. So that's what we're doing. And I still haven't told Michael my pick for Knoxville. I guess I should look and see where guys qualified just to take a stab in the dark. Because that's all I'm really doing was taking a stab in the dark on whoever I picked to win Knoxville. He gave me a bet on Ryan Newman for the SRX race. I guess the heat races or whatever are still going. Okay, we'll look at that in a bit. And can you believe it? I found an SRX leaderboard like last year. I remember I used one last year when I streamed these. Hopefully y'all can see it. Hopefully it's not too small on the screen. But I'm excited for this race. We got a good field here. We got Ryan Hunter-Ray, Paul Tracy, Ernie Francis Jr., Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves, Bill Elliott, Tony Stewart, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte, Bubba Pollard, Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, and Marco Andretti. And as weeks goes on, you'll see like Haley Deegan popping in and out. Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney are going to run some SRX. I think Dave Blaney and Ryan Blaney are going to be in the same race, just like Bill and Chase were last year at Nashville. Remember when Chase Elliott won the Nashville SRX race last year? I feel like we all forgot about that. Because SRX, as fun as it was, it kind of just came and went and left our consciousness. I can't even tell you who won what. I know Tony Stewart won the most races and won the championship. Chase Elliott won a race. And who was that guy that won at Stafford?
The guy that ran there, he was like...
Yeah, I can't remember his fucking... I'm blanking on his name. I'm so ashamed of myself. Hopefully he'll be back this year when they race at Stafford again. Stafford's a motherfucker in the SRX video game. I know that. It's a hard racetrack. And right now, I'm watching the race on Paramount Plus because CBS is out in my area for some reason. Like, completely out the HD channel. And I don't want to watch in blurry shit quality. So I'm watching on Paramount Plus. So it may be a little behind you guys. My cable is always ahead. I think the apps and shit will be behind. But I want to watch the race in fucking 4K. What's up? You're going with Biff. I got a bet on Ryan Newman.
Ryan Hunter-Ray.
And Dylan says Ryan Hunter-Ray. Oh yeah, Five Flags in Florida. Alan Bestwick. Oh man, I thought Alan Bestwick would be talking first thing.
I love it, 2 laps.
Where the ocean meets the sand.
2 laps. Stay there.
Wow. Yeah, Dylan's racing the dirt late models in Heat 5. Gotta love Tony Stewart won the championship in his own series. He pretty much won it fairly. Oh yeah, Ernie Francis won a race last year. Chase won at Nashville. Tony Stewart won a couple races. Michael Waltrip really impressed a few times. If you can believe it. I'll be excited to see Ryan Newman in a competitive car for the first time in ages. First time since like 2017, Newman will be in a competitive car. I don't know why I started the stream. I bet they're going to have like a 25-minute pre-race, and we'll be sitting here with my dick in my hand, not knowing what to talk about. Remember when Brad Keselowski used to hit on her on TNT? When NASCAR was on TNT? I miss the NASCAR on TNT days. What's up, Michael? We should have been streaming. Me and Dylan should have been streaming the last few hours because we've been racing against each other in Heat 5 online. He's been on the PS4. I've been on the PS5.
But it won't be easy. Not against this lineup. Waltrip, Andretti, Labonte, Biffle, Elliott, Kanan, Ernie, and Haley are back. Not to mention a couple new guys named Ryan. The Indy 5
Truck race comes on at 9. I'm not really paying attention to it until SRX is over. When the SRX race ends, we'll talk about the truck race. We'll flip over to the truck race. I think SRX will end before trucks end, so it should be fine. Dylan got a 105 speed rating at a dirt track.
Fine-tuned and ready to roll.
Not the Bristol
challenge
one.
this season. We've thrown in a few new tracks. Running on asphalt for the first 4 weeks.
South Boston making a comeback this year with SRX.
Wild races on dirt. Now that's how you determine a champion. The weekly format, 2-timed heats.
Kind of sucks that 2 dirt races end the season because I thought the 2 dirt races were the weakest races in SRX last year. As cool as they are. How many people will Paul Tracy piss off this year? That was the most memorable thing about last season.
It's time to crank up summer and take another ride.
I think we all know Tony Stewart's going to win this race, but I put the bet on Ryan Newman. Ray Evernham's not involved with this series anymore. I didn't find out about that till the other day. Yay, no pre-race.
We find 2 of the founders of this series, George Pine and Sandy Montag. Gentlemen, take it away.
Drivers, start your engines.
This is literally how every NASCAR broadcast should start. Hey, welcome to wherever the fuck we are. All right, gentlemen, start your engines. Sorry, drivers, start your engines. Don't want to offend anyone.
Tonight, we're excited to welcome a new face to our broadcast booth. He just finished a career best 6th in this year's Indy 500. He loves a joke.
Connor Daly. That was my Lee Diffie impression.
And ask him about what happened to his hot tub if you happen to see him. That would be Connor Daly, IndyCar driver, who's winning Alan Bestman tonight. Alan, you better watch yourself out there. And Connor, welcome to the team, man.
It's great to have you here. I hope
We're going to have heat races for this and all that, right?
really thrilled you're with us.
You know what? I appreciate that fine collage of photographs. It's an honor to be with you guys. These are some incredible racing drivers we've got here that are going racing tonight. So I appreciate being here.
You said you have everyone.
Bubba Pollard or Tony Stewart's going to win.
In your collection, so it'll be fun.
But my bet's on Ryan Newman.
Watch the race. Now, by way of refresher, the SRX cars, purpose-built for this, designed by series co-founder Ray Evernham, to be more of a driver's input, determining the outcome than the machine.
If there couldn't be a bigger shot at NASCAR, they're talking about we built our cars to be all about driver input. And CBS is still not on in my area.
It was awesome to drive one of these cars. Very, very fast.
Yeah, I watched the SRX season preview Iceberg. Did I watch that on my break at work today as I was trying not to fall asleep? I sat outside in the shade and it was nice and warm and I was laid back in this fucking chair. I could have fallen asleep at work.
So it should be really interesting to see how that group meshes together.
Man, I gotta pee, but somebody's been in there taking a 45-minute fucking shower, so I can't go to the goddamn bathroom. Bubba Pollard's a badass motherfucker, I know that much. I like having a local track champion kind of guy for these races. Oh, Dylan's cheating, racing AJ Allmendinger at the Charlotte Roval in NASCAR Heat 5. Awesome, Bill Elliott's back. My name's Bill. I race in the SRX series. I do a pretty good Bill Elliott impression.
No setup.
It is an incredible field. I mean, as you mentioned, I probably have 95% of these guys' autographs, and definitely their die-cast cars from my childhood. So I'm excited.
And thank God Willie T. Ribbs is no longer a driver in this series. See, all this SRX stuff is starting to come back to me now that I'm here watching the race. By the way, no guarantee that I can watch next week in live stream. I don't know if I have to work next Saturday yet or not. I don't know what time or whatever. Hopefully it'll be early in the day if I have to work next week.
Someone who has an incredible amount of experience. What do you think about these
Yep,
guys?
Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney will be in the season finale for SRX. Dave Blaney as well. I'm excited. I wish Dave Blaney was full-time. Dave Blaney is my favorite driver to never win a cup race. I think he's awesome. Won an awesome Xfinity race at Charlotte that one time when he held off Matt Kenseth at Charlotte.
We've ran side by side at many different races before, so I have a lot of faith in you. And honestly, just watch out for Paul, and then I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, watch out for old Paul Tracy.
Thanks, man. Good luck tonight.
Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Keep me updated on the truck race. I know it won't really start until about 9:15 or whatever.
So an update on the format. It's the same as
Heats, 12-minute time to heat races. 75-lap main event. That's much better this year. There's less laps in the main. Last year, I think they figured out pretty quickly they had too many laps in the main. Like last year, this would have been like a 150-lap main event. This year, they got it wrong.
Because a lot of drivers will complain about tire wear eventually, but in 12 minutes, there's not a lot of that complaining. It's really going to be guys going all out to try to make up some positions to make sure that you have a great starting spot for the final. So, and they also know that they have new tires coming at the end of these heats, I believe. So I'm excited to see how hard they go and who makes the.
I can go to the damn bathroom finally.
right off the top. Look at the conditions for these
I gotta see if I got the Fox Sports. If I have the Fox Sports app on the PS4, I'll put the truck race on that. So I'll do that after the first heat race.
This might be the hottest place
It's Florida, man.
right now. I have never
The one place hotter than North Carolina currently.
earlier this morning already made me not really that jealous of these guys tonight, so I'm excited for it.
We have some great looks for you tonight. At, our friends at Beverly
What's
Hills
up,
area.
Denny?
2 drones covering the event tonight. One hovering over the field right now down
Next time me and Dylan are racing online together, I'll stream it because it'll be pretty fun.
Sports SRX crew all ready to bring you these next 6 weeks of Superstar Saturday Night. 13 drivers ready to go. Heat race
12 minutes.
Season 2 of the Superstar Racing Experience.
I like their fucking restart rules. Paul Tracy just fucking launched out of a cannon,
Tracy outside the lime green car.
and Paul Tracy's already running into somebody. He pinched down Bubba Pollard off the corner.
Well, he made it a turn and a half.
Yeah, he made it a turn and a half before he pinched Bubba Pollard down and made contact.
Surprised Paul didn't close the door quicker on him, but
Old TK in third, Tony Stewart's fourth. Pollard sends it in. He cut Paul Tracy a break there.
5-year-old from Georgia.
now these cars with the rear bumpers there as well definitely give the driver
I like that the lineup for the first heat was set by random
just pure body work. So this is a great
because I don't think Paul Tracy would be up at the front otherwise.
Scoring ticker coming across
Denny,
the
I'm doing great. I'm just very tired.
driver's name matches the color of the car they're behind the wheel of.
Tony Stewart's in a red car. I thought Tony was in the orange car. That was Andretti in the orange car.
On his SRX car. And Ryan Newman, one of the newcomers.
Newman and Tony, the old 14 and 39. The Stewart Haas guys are back.
it out here.
I saw them finish 1-2 in the Cup race at Loudon in 2011.
Any race fan on the Saturday night.
Still can't believe I was at a Cup race that Ryan Newman won.
Asked Ryan earlier today, so what have you been doing lately? He said, racing a little, farming a lot.
I love that about Ryan. I mean,
I like how Ryan Newman got divorced right before he almost died at Daytona, and now he's semi-retired. Got a lot of free time on his hands. Yeah, Tracy, Pollard, and TK have broken away from everybody.
He knows how these tires will fall off, and I can see him just messing around with people until later on in the night and having a run to the win.
So this is 4th place on back. We're watching.
This is as close as we'll ever get to the IROC series ever again.
Monterey. Then you've got Tony Stewart next in line, followed by Ryan Newman, and then Bill Elliott in the purple machine.
Tony to the inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay for 5th.
Of our SRX broadcast.
Hopefully they gave Bill. I feel like Bill Elliott last year never got a chance to compete outside of Nashville because something on his car would break every damn week. So hopefully they got Bill a car that'll hold together this year.
Super hot. 140.
I'm really glad I'm not outdoors in Florida right now. I'm really glad we're not going to Nashville next week where it's going to be 100 fucking degrees with no shade. There's no shade on any of the seats at Nashville.
I'm pretty sure that's when they had the traffic problems last year. They had to delay the race. The start.
Yeah, I think it was Nashville.
This is the first time, right?
Yep. Steve Burns, your microphone's not working.
Matt, we lost your mic.
Greg Biffle in the number 69. Yes, he did that on purpose.
All right, Bill back in the field. Gold
What'd you just get home at 1 in the morning from?
racing there with Bill Elliott for 8th and 9th place, while Paul
Well,
Tracy
they own the lead.
gold.
Pollard will win. I think Pollard's going to have a great night tonight. He got a good draw for the heat. I wouldn't be surprised if Pollard wins both heats and the main. I think they invert the field for the second heat, if I'm not mistaken. Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan's in third.
For his first night out here at the SRX series.
First, second, and third. Paul Tracy, Ranked number 3 this year, but still
And Pollard's been working over Paul Tracy for a while now. We got 8 minutes and 46 to go. Tracy's just getting away with cutting them off. Ooh, Pollard got a great run off of 2. And Tracy's pinching him again, but not as much. He's got Pollard straddling the apron. His left side's below the yellow line. And Bubba's going to take the lead. And Tony Kanon's trying to follow him. Yeah, Pollard. Nobody knows this track better than Bubba Pollard, that's for sure. And TK's into second. 8 minutes to go. Look how fucking that pit wall going into turn 1 would annoy the shit out of me if I had to drive this track in a video game. It's like the Phoenix pit wall.
This is a game of competition, but also you got to be smart. There's a lot of really incredibly talented people out here, and sometimes if you think better than some of these other guys, it might pay off come the end of the night. I'll take forward.
He who finishes first shall start last.
Yeah, they do invert the field for the second heat, which is the only time Willie T. Ribbs ran better than 8th last year, I'm pretty sure.
I actually like that a lot.
Do I like Battlefront 2? I like it, but don't love it and haven't played it very much.
See how some of the other folks race. It's a great format.
Bubba Pollard is 35 years old. Given name is Andrew. He earned the right here by having the best average.
He can't be named Bubba.
The 9th twin series of races here at Five Flags Speedway, one of his home tracks. Pollard, you'll learn more about him between heats 1 and 2, but this is a guy that has gone everywhere in the United States.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the breaks between heat races. At least the main event's not very long.
He's gone from Slinger, Wisconsin to Oxford, Maine, out to California, down here to Florida, and he's won it all of them.
Yeah, what an incredible story. What a great shot to race with some of these, some of these guys from all across the motorsport spectrum. And
I might consider playing Battlefront at some point. Yeah, Dylan just said this track's a lot like a tiny Richmond. He's not wrong. It's a tiny Nashville to me, Nashville Fairgrounds. It's very similar to Nashville Fairgrounds.
While Bubba Pollard continues to be tracked by Tony Kanaan.
Yeah. Look at TK running down the local track champion. Got an open wheel guy chasing down a short track guy.
Bobby, I know exactly who you are, Bobby.
They really do.
That was hilarious.
That's so like Bobby.
We got a caution.
NASCAR Hall of Famer yellow flag.
6 minutes to go.
Just as we did in season 1 of the Superstar.
The fun flag.
The caution will come out in each of the heat races. I called it the fun flag. The name seems to have stuck. And we're having
Well, I'll be right back. Damn it, I finally got to go to the bathroom. Hey, Earl. Sorry, I just got back from the bathroom. You know, I said I got cranky at work today. Maybe it was because it was my 3rd week in a row of people going in and going, y'all ain't got no cigarettes? No, somebody broke in and stole them. What? Maybe that's why I was pissed off and just wanted to get the fuck out. Like, run away. Bubba Pollard stinking up the show. No. He's gonna, at least the second heat race will be good when they invert the field. Oh yeah, I want to see if I can get the Fox app on my PS4 so I can have the truck race on the little TV. I don't think you can get the Fox app on PlayStation. I think I've tried in the past, but it's been a long time. Ain't no harm in looking.
SRX series back live on CBS Sports for another summer of superstars Saturday nights. First caution.
I almost guarantee I'll have to work next Saturday evening because I haven't had to work an evening in like 2 weeks.
Went by him and is out in front as we get ready for the restart. Great crowd here, and I'll tell you what, all credit in the world.
Who's that ugly little kid? What is this, Fox? At least they were doing it under caution. Because CBS is smart.
Absolutely. This is an incredible crowd. People here, I really respect them for coming out here. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside. The sun is...
Yeah, send me the new truck odds.
Brutal for a bit, but we thank them for being out here.
God, my legs hurt and my back hurts and I'm fucking sleepy.
This wonderful racetrack, known best as host of one of America's biggest short track races every December, the Snowball Derby. Track profile in a little while as the field doubles up. Pace car driven by
Nah, no Fox Sports on the PlayStation. But anyway, they're back to green.
We immediately see Bubba Pollard learning from what Paul Tracy did at the start. Got a nice jump on the inside row. And Tony
Bubba Pollard takes off. TK into second. Paul Tracy third. Tony Stewart fourth around the outside
second. Paul Tracy third.
of Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Tries to stick to the inside of Tony Stewart for fourth.
Tony Stewart last year would run mid-pack most of the race and then just be strong at the end.
500 champion, but he is now fending off Tony Stewart, who is literally one of the most talented drivers, I think, in the world and of all time. This is a great, great battle between talents.
Who do I think would be the title sponsor of the truck series? Oh, God, who knows? Wouldn't even begin to guess something like that.
I'll tell you one thing, when you look at Bubba Pollard's racing record,
Maybe like Geico or something. The Geico truck series. I'm just thinking of like NASCAR sponsors.
when you look at his racing resume, beyond impressive.
Steve Burns is getting a little frustrated.
He's got the trophy to the asset.
Steve Burns.
He think will be a major storyline before the night because there's always somebody that runs in the center.
Do I like what?
Saving his tires. That'll be the guy I'll have to deal with at the end of the night. And I said, well, who do you think that could be? He goes, Bobby Labonte. You watch. He's very sly. Saving his stuff. He'll be there.
Okay, new truck odds.
Is all that as the race for third.
Truck odds. I'm just literally guessing on the trucks.
A little bit of contact yet again. I love to see Tony Stewart using his muscles to get Paul Tracy out of the way. This is some good stuff right here.
Lily and Bobby Labonte back here in the field. That's
Oh, we got a spin.
car looping around.
Ernie Francis spun out with 46 seconds to go.
We saw him and Michael Waltrip going side by side for almost 4 corners in a row, so there must have been some contact going on there.
I do not
Michael, I texted you. Give me Matt Crafton for trucks. Just a wild guess.
That's SRX racing right there.
I know I have zero chance.
You got it going. What happened to Ernie Francis Jr.?
Ernie drove down into 3. Drove down a little too hard.
Pit maneuver, as some would say. Elio Castroneves.
Hey, he came down on Elio.
On Ernie Francis Jr.
But yeah, he probably didn't expect Elio to be there that deep in the corner, but still,
yeah,
he came down
tough
on
to
him.
see for Ernie this
Elio
tonight.
drove in, spun him out.
So Francis Jr. continues on, but will drive
Kraus was a bet I was considering. I just don't trust him.
number 2.
So I'll just guess and say Matt Crafton.
Up those tires in that so we'll see.
Carson hover car, yeah.
So clock expires on that, and then there's the checker flag. Having a little radio communication difficulty down to the
Bubba Pollard
Back
wins
over,
the
shoulder
first
down,
heat.
hands up in the air back at the control tower like, I can't hear you. Well, they were saying, put the checkers out. Clock has expired on heat number 1. And Bubba Pollard has won it.
That's a sexy beast right there at Bubba
All right,
Pollard.
we're feeling the effects of the heat here at Five Flags Speedway, or maybe it's just because I'm being silly. I don't know.
I'm thirsty too. I've been thirsty all damn day. My work was getting to me. Was you planning on getting anything at the store later?
Oh, I'm thinking about going. I might going out and get something to eat.
Well, if you do, will you run by Sonic for me?
Yeah, I can.
Give you my
I
card.
might just go to Sonic and get food. Yeah. Get it while I'm up there.
I get my fucking card out. There you go. Want a Oreo blast? A big one. Since I'm paying for it, I want the big. When I say what size, say a big one.
Hey, my stepdad one time goes, he gave me $100 bill and he said, I want you to go to Wendy's and get the biggest fucking burger with the most bacon you can get on it. I said, all right. I was like, but when I come back, don't be mad about how much it costs. I paid $17
What'd they give you?
for a triple cheeseburger that I told them to put all the bacon they could on it. It was like 12 strips of bacon, and it was.
Have you ever watched Epic Mealtime on YouTube?
I've heard of that.
There was one time where they were going to make a giant double cheeseburger filled with 85 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. And the video starts, dude. They pull up to the McDonald's drive-thru and they go, "Hey, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?" And the guy goes, 85 double cheeseburgers, please. And it's quiet, and the lady goes, "You said a double cheeseburger?" And the guy goes, "Times 85, yes." And they're like, "Please pull up." "Sir, you said you want a double cheeseburger?" "Times 85. She couldn't believe that he said 85. Like, okay, for an order that big, they make you pull up and give your card and all that before they start making it. And then they had like McDonald's people carrying boxes out full of double cheeseburgers. And the thing they made was awesome. Like a giant fucking double cheeseburger, and it was filled to the brim on the inside of the meat with other double cheeseburgers.
Are we watching the truck race?
Yeah. What we see of it after SRX is over.
Why don't you bet on freezing?
I don't trust freezing to not choke it away. That's why.
Is that a new guy for the competition?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the results.
It's a dirt guy.
And it was local racer.
Love Pollard, Tony Kanaan. Tony Stewart snuck into third place there at the end of that first heat. We didn't even really notice.
Followed by Tony Kanaan and Tony Stewart.
Go, buddy.
This is a racetrack that folks will tell you has a personality.
All right.
All its own.
Large Oreo blast.
1953.
Hell yeah.
For more now on the history of this spot, we turn now to our progressive at the track.
Hope you guys had a better day than I had. I was just grumpy at work wanting to go home.
Very few people who are involved in racing don't know about Five Flag Speedway.
Pensacola's got a lot to offer. It's got the best beaches around. It is the home to the Navy's Blue Angels.
Powerades are too good. I gotta go put this one in the fridge before I drink it all.
So you have all these different elements that really mix together nicely.
Pensacola has a rich racing tradition. I mean, some of the top names in racing history have come to this very city. I mean, you name it, Earnhardt, Petty, all these guys come through Five Flag Speedway.
The track is not symmetrical. Actually, each turn is different as far as the radius of the turn and the banking of the turn.
Some of the most difficult aspects of trying to win here at Five Flag Speedway is the surface. I mean, if you're not experienced, if you don't take care of your equipment, if you don't take care of your tires, it's going to be a challenge for you. The Snowball Derby is one of the richest.
It's going to be a good week for me. I have to work Monday 8 to 1, Tuesday 8 to 3. Then I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, and I work Friday 8 to 1. Don't know about next week, and I hope I get Saturday off. And then I can work Sunday morning. I don't mind working Sunday mornings. I hope I get Saturday off.
So we got a few of us bring together, said, hey, come down to Florida.
Because I'd like to be able to watch the Xfinity race and SRX. If I work early Saturday, that's good, but I figure they'll make me work evenings because it's been a while.
10, 15 years to a level that is truly unbelievable.
So that's the skinny from the people that know this track.
Sunday morning shift is like the best shift to work.
So they're taking the education into their own hands. So
Every dumbass motherfucker goes to church and nobody's coming in the store.
He's been paying a visit to his good friend, fellow racer Sage Karam's house, who happens to be a neighbor, just to be able to borrow his simulator.
I promise you guys, next time me and Dylan play NASCAR Heat online, I'll stream it. I made a mistake not streaming it today. Denny, you have a good sleep.
So, where do you want to go?
5 flags we're racing this weekend.
All right. Should be good.
I think it's very useful, especially in situations like this with new tracks, and we're trying to replicate the grip level that it's going to be, which I've heard is very low at Pensacola. It seems like concrete, and it just seems like there's going to be a lot of tire degradation, so I think really taking care of your stuff the first 2/3 of the race is going to be important to have something underneath you at the end. One thing I learned last year the hard way is I'd go out and win a heat race and be like, oh shoot, I was too fast that race. So then by the end of the feature, I had no...
The NASCAR schedule, I know Xfinity is Saturday at like 3:30. Cup is Sunday at 5. I don't know about trucks. I think trucks are Friday night, I want to say. And if I'm in the right mood, I'll probably stream trucks next weekend because I'll be home. Like I said, I work 8 to 1 Friday. Saturday, I don't know. I don't know when I'm working or if I'm working Saturday.
I don't know about you, but I think Sage Karam should get a cut if Marco happens to win. The streaming wars bring South Park to the brink of disaster. South Park, the
We're watching on Paramount Plus. First time I've watched anything live on Paramount Plus.
Coming up here on the show is the second heat, but first, wait until you see.
Look at Tony Stewart drinking out of his extra long straw.
Tony Stewart and Paul Tracy are up to now.
Well, I've always been into the go fast stuff, and this is the only thing.
Got the smoke and Paul Tracy. Look at Tony Stewart and them sexy legs. Boy, Tony Stewart's weight fluctuates so much. He's fat one year, he's medium the next, he's skinny, then he's big again. Now he's like in the middle. Tony's kind of middle build right now.
You are a V to escape.
Me and Dylan earlier, we raced at Daytona and Talladega. We raced a bunch of tracks, but the most fun races were Daytona, Talladega, and Bristol. At Daytona and Talladega, we would get like 3.5, 4 seconds ahead of the field running nose to tail, pushing each other. Just hugging that yellow line, trying to stay in front of him. It actually wasn't as hot today as it's been hot. Like, it was kind of breezy outside. It was at least nice enough to where I could sit outside the store in the shade and not suffocate. Oh, look, it's a Bristol commercial, and they use Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick in the ad. What a surprise.
Here, and I wish a happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
Shit, is it Father's Day?
You know, I'd like to take this time to say Happy Father's Day.
Hey, Happy Father's Day. It's Bill Elliott.
So I want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad, Bob Lamani. Thank you so much for being a great father. And I want to say Happy Father's Day.
It's the Biff. They haven't featured Greg Biffle enough yet on this broadcast.
To my dad and to all the dads out there.
Just want to say Happy Father's
Smoke.
Day to my dad Nelson and all the other fathers out there. Hope you guys enjoy the day.
Earl, I think he finds truck odds on DraftKings. Fox Sports Bet or DraftKings.
Yes, and a happy early Father's Day, family. Such an important part of racing. We are ready to get back on track for Heat 2, a adjustments have been made, and now we send it back up to Alan Bestwick and Connor Daly. Guys, what are you expecting to see in this heat?
Lindsay, first as we look at the starting lineup, we're expecting to see Bubba Pollard come from the back, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they invert the field here.
Pit road under the yellow flag.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling things out.
Well, they hit Marco Andretti's car with the biggest hammer they had in the garage, and I'm not really sure why, but usually that means it'll go faster. So I'm curious to see how that affects it, and it also means that he looks like he is starting from the back. So Marco and Bubba Pollard will be two guys that I look forward to seeing go through the field really in this heat.
I want one of them SRX team shirts that those crew guys are wearing.
Back on his way, and he will start on pole position. Remember the field inverted from the.
Good. I wanted to make sure tomorrow was Father's Day, so I remembered not to call my dad.
Why did it take that long to call me in? We were sitting there.
Yikes. I've been there before. I know how that goes.
the person who knows the least of what's going on sometimes externally is the one behind the wheel strapped in the car, right?
Well, let me tell you something. It's never the driver's fault. From the driver, I can promise you that. It's always something else. And you know what? Marco's got a fight in front of him, but I can't wait to see him come through the field. Marco's a great racer, and I'm excited.
Heat race number 2, 12 minutes in length. Field inverted from the finish of Heat 1. Ernie Francis Jr. in the blue car leads into the green with Elio Castro.
That spin was the best thing to happen to Ernie Francis. It's on the front row with Elio. There's Mikey in third. And Ernie takes the lead. Elio still second. Oh, Ernie missed turn 3. Almost spun out again. Elio takes the lead.
Spin around from Francis damaged those tires a little bit more than he was ready for.
Might have had a bit of
I never thought I'd say this in my entire life as a racing fan, but Elio Castroneves has a mirror full of Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip is second, and for third now, Francis Jr. kind of has the field bottled up behind him a little bit. Greg Biffle's in the gold car. Bill Elliott is in purple.
Ernie Francis is loose, dude. Like, loose everywhere. Getting in the way. Ooh, he just got doored by Ryan Newman down the back.
That's a big telltale.
Oh, he got the bumper for he was loose getting in, and then Biffle nudged him. Now Newman's dooring him again. Ryan Newman's like, move, bitch. I'm in a competitive car. Feels good. Damn, Paul Tracy just got sent, I think, by Stewart or Andretti back there. Oh, man, Marco. Everybody's driving it. They see how loose Ernie Francis is, and they're taking advantage of it. Everybody, as Francis has now made his way all the way to the back. Back with Tony Stewart.
Clean air up front should change the balance of his race car and make it go from a really wicked tight car much more neutral and get an idea what changes to make at the brake.
That's a look from the visor cam of the four-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Elio Castroneves.
Elio's a strong leader. We saw that last year during the Indy 500. Once he got to the front, he was never going to surrender that lead.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go. It's really hard to pass because it's like whoever just gets up front just kind of stays there.
It just goes to show you how important this
I know guys are driving different. They're saving. Some guys are saving. Some guys are pushing hard. But it seems like the main event in these SRX races always comes out of nowhere and surprises you because like Tony Stewart would just save his stuff and obliterate the field.
Michael Waltrip as well. I think he's got to be excited to be back up front because he was battling with Ernie Francis wheel to wheel for like 12th place, and that's what
Mikey right in the tire tracks of Elio.
I think it's great to see just a couple guys that were struggling earlier now having a great time leading out front.
So here's the race from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bill Elliott in
Bill Elliott 3rd.
Newman right behind him, and then Bobby Labonte in the white car.
12-year-old me is
Man, Mikey and Elio are almost 5 seconds ahead of Bill Elliott in 3rd.
The number 69 machine, so you know he loves to party, and that's a great group of 4 right there.
Bill Elliott here to run one of 2 SRX Series races he'll compete in this year. The NASCAR Hall of Famer said he came here so many times with his son Chase over the years. As Chase, now a champion himself, was working his way up through the racing ranks. And so that's why he wanted to come and run this race. Where is Chase? Well, Chase
Bill Elliott versus Ryan Newman. It's 2003 all over again. I like how racy Newman looks in the second heat. Makes me feel good about my bet for later. I still think Bubba Pollard is the man to be. He started 13th. He's up to 8th in this heat race.
Pressure from Ryan Newman on Bill Elliott.
Maybe Newman will just run his ass over later and win me money. Looks like he wants to run over Bill Elliott right now.
Bill Elliott and Chase Elliott talking to Bill this morning. The Nashville race that ended our SRX season last year, where the two raced together for a lot of the night. Bill said that that was one of the most special atmospheres and special nights he's had in the sport. And you think about all the special days and special nights Bill Elliott's had in auto racing, that says a lot for what his experience was like.
Absolutely. It was a cool deal for racing against Chase. And, I mean, Bill clearly.
By the way, I'm thinking about streaming a video game tomorrow afternoon if I'm awake. I don't know if it'll be NASCAR. It might be GTA or something. Keep an eye out for me tomorrow. I'd like to stream something. I'm going to have nothing to do tomorrow. No race on.
Not only a NASCAR champion, but a snowball winner. And we were just talking about the nuances of racing here, but the problem is I can give you some advice. The front stretch has a new grip of asphalt, so that's going to be.
I feel like I'm watching a Fox broadcast. I'm watching a useless in-car camera of a guy 6 seconds off the lead. Elio's pulled away from Mikey now. Driving a nice smooth race. We're 5 minutes in. They flashed that yellow thing and I thought a caution was out. Bill's still holding up. Bill is really holding up Ryan Newman. Newman getting his nose in there into 3. Bill will give him room. No, he doesn't. Well, yeah, Bill gave him a little bit, but just enough to not touch him. Ernie Francis pitted under green. Oh, my Lord. Tony Stewart about ripped the door off of Paul Tracy. And Bill is still holding up. Look at this line, conga line behind Bill Elliott. Mikey's starting to heat up Elio again. I thought Elio driven away. He was over half a second. Now it's down to about 2/10 or less. It's 6 minutes to go.
You know what's great about having these guys are thankful for Ernie Francis Jr. right now because he separated the entire.
I'm guessing a caution will come out here with 6 minutes to go, like in the first heat.
Just relaxing because they know that they're going to have this fun flag coming in here in a little bit. They got to push the end and fight off all the rest of these guys who have been battling at the back.
Michael Waltrip, his second year in the SRX series, best finish a year ago was a 5th place run. He's got more. Remember one of the there's a nice save by Michael. One of the issues, Michael's so tall that his feet were kind of cramped in the car. Well, the SRX gang jumped on it, and he's got a little more foot space.
They gave Mikey more room because he's fucking 8 feet tall. We got a caution with 5.5 to go, as we expected. Got to get back in the SRX groove here of what to expect. Pretty fun so far. I think the main event will be really good. Pretty sure you can hear the TV from the other room during commercials, and that's very annoying to me. So let me just go ahead and do you a favor and shut the door. I was so proud of Dylan earlier today. We were racing online in Heat 5, and he hasn't played that game nearly as much as me. And he was like, I want to race you at Watkins Glen. And I was like, hell yeah. I always want people to race me on road courses. I want people to get good at road courses and race with me. Really looking forward to him getting back here with that Oreo blast. Really looking forward to that. I hope I didn't check to see if Fox Sports 1's working on my cable. Yeah, I mean, if it's not, I got the app on my TV, so that's the good thing about having a smart TV and all that stuff.
Camping World SRX Series back for season number 2, and we're 3 minutes to go with heat race number 2 tonight at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola. And under the caution flag with Elio Castroneves as the leader, Ernie Francis Jr.'s car is on the pit lane. He got lapped after starting heat race number 2 as the race leader, and Matt has more.
Getting a head start on getting Ernie's car ready for the main event.
So an incident with Elio Castroneves. The car did not feel good after that point. Something amiss?
Yeah, you know, we were kind of struggling since the start of the heats before this stint, actually. Car just didn't feel the same. I don't know if there's weather conditions down to that. Made a few changes from the practice to the race, and didn't seem to work out too well. After the hit, I don't know, something felt weird in the rear. I'm not sure what was up with it. Just couldn't get into the turns at all. We keep wanting to come around on me. So brought it in to see what they can figure out and try and get back out there for the future. Alan?
All right, Matt, thanks. As the field doubles up.
I'll tell you, it needs to be tightened up. That being an understatement of the year.
Yes, and Ernie's a very talented driver, so it's, you know, when he was falling off that much, there's always something broken in the car because, you know, drivers just don't all of a sudden forget how to drive. I can promise you that.
I gotta hide my leaderboard from me because it's a little bit ahead. Actually, it's way ahead. Elio clears Mikey into 1, Mikey into 2nd. Newman around the outside of Bill for 3rd. I think Newman's going to push him hard here. Oh my God, they're right.
So you're telling me they're successful, huh? That seems about right.
All these Daytona 500 wins in the top 5 between Mikey, Newman, and Bill.
Just last weekend, so he's still out there trying to add to his trophy case. And
90 seconds to go.
I am a little cross with Elio still, but that's okay. You know what? These things happen, and we will move on to the next one. Also, he has 4 Indy 500 rings, and I have a mullet, so realistically, there's not much I can compare to him.
Ha, 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 ha. Everybody do your best Alan Bestwick laugh.
You notice who's moved up through the field pretty well? Bubba Pollard.
The local all-star.
Oh, yeah.
Bubba Pollard.
Bubba Pollard started 13th in this heat. He's 7th with 50 seconds to go.
I mean, there's still a couple minutes, well, actually a couple seconds left in this race, but still, if you get a win and probably pass 5 or 6 cars, that's a good point total, I'd say, for the final starting grid coming up later.
Bubba Pollard's family runs a racetrack in Sonoya, Georgia, 3/8 mile dirt track. They race on Saturday nights. They were supposed to have a race tonight. And then Bubba got the spot of the SRX race here. They canceled the racing tonight at Sonoya, and all of his family and friends and about half the track workers that would normally be working up there are here tonight watching him race against the Superstars.
Well, you know what? That's what
We should have bet on Bubba Pollard. Let me look at your text again. I got to see what the odds on Bubba Pollard, because it would have made sense to bet on him. Obviously, it would have made sense to bet on Tony Stewart, but we saw what a favorite he was. Hell, Newman was only worth like, what, $1 or $2 more than Bubba Pollard? Should have just bet on Bubba. All right, they're coming to the checkered. Elio and Mikey, 1-2. Ryan Newman, 3rd.
Now looking for an SRX championship maybe this year.
White flag out in our second heat race. By the way, TK finished on the podium in the Indianapolis 500, finished 3rd in that race. So it is Castroneves to turns 3 and 4 with a comfortable lead over Michael Waltrip. Elio Castroneves will take his 3rd heat race win in SRX competition over last
Elio, Mikey, and Newman. Newman had a great second heat race there.
Someone take a picture of that top 6 because that average age might be older than me, that's for sure, and I respect that.
Yes, Elio, you did it.
Boy, the average age in this entire series is through the roof.
Going into heat race number 2, the main event coming up from Pensacola shortly.
Yeah, we'll have time to watch trucks after this is over. That Chevy bet was such a good bet. I'm glad you made that one. I would have made the same bet. Of course, it got really nerve-wracking there when it was Suarez versus an army of Fords, because Chase and Larson had trouble and Chastain had trouble. It's like your entire Chevrolet buffer, except one guy that had never won a race before. It's like your entire buffer had fallen out of contention. Still want to see SRX on a road course eventually. Late Saturday afternoon, SRX on a road course. I guess they can go to Road America now that NASCAR's not going to go there. Look, I think the street race at Chicago is an interesting idea. I just would hate to give up Road America for a race that they can't do every year, because I figure that Chicago race only happened like once, and it's going to be a logistical fucking nightmare. So we'll see. Word!
Dude, you won't believe it. This milkshake is as big as my... Who's leading?
Oh, Elio Castroneves won the second heat. Mikey second, Newman third. Bill Elliott did a great job of holding up Ryan Newman. Where's my card?
Oh.
Yeah.
Pocket.
Try to take my shit. Oh, is that my receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my receipt. It'd be funny if you're like a lift your card at Sonic, and now people are just picking it up and going through the drive-thru and handing it through the window. I'm paying for all of Rutherford County's food.
Wait, your card?
Got a Oreo blast from Sonic because I treat myself at least once or twice a week now with these. Because I work a job where I'm so active that I'm not going to gain any weight. I've been there for a couple months now, and I'm still the same weight or a little less. So I don't have to be as strict on my no sugar things. I know I'm going to be active 3 or 4 days a week.
Right now you can, or at least the past week, you could walk outside and lose a pound.
Yep. Dollar General's going to kill my fucking back, though. It hurts more and more every day. Then I get a couple of days off and it feels okay, but... Other than my painting job, it's the longest I've had a job without wanting to kill myself and or quit or do both. Or do one just so I didn't have to do the other.
Do you miss painting, Dale?
Yeah. Although the other day I was thinking, shit, I'd be out in this weather right now doing that. Fuck.
You don't think it'd be too hot to paint?
Mm-mm. We'd do it. It can be too cold, but not too hot.
Huh.
Welcome back to the Camping World SRX series on CBS. So we're through now with Heat 2,
Well,
and as you heard, it's the veterans.
They were driving hard as shit. Mikey was sideways, doing everything he could, staying with Elio at the end of that.
Here, Ryan Newman coming in third. These guys all talking about just how hot it is. So this is when that really starts to weigh.
Drink plenty of water between these races.
Elio Castroneves, Yoakum?
Well, Lindsay, he was first across the start-finish line, and you were the first driver to get out of the car. Has this been the hottest you've ever been inside of a race car?
Yes.
Elio's suffering.
In 2006, I had 1,000 miles in Brazil that I was like, I had no strength. Here, I still have strength, but they were like, one more lap. I was like, no. If I got to go to the next one, I got to recoup. So throw a little water, a little ice here, which is helping. My goodness, man, it's like 150 inside that car. But 06 machine was great. Once we got to the lead, I was like, whoa, my car is just went really good. I apologize for Francis. I was right beside, sort of like in here. He just turned too quick. I feel bad. But at the end of the day, it's tough out there, man. It's tough out there with the competitors, with the heat. But
these IndyCar guys aren't used to the heat because their fucking cars are open.
Love you,
They're going to put more there to get him cooled off for the feature, Willie. A lot of action coming up.
I got two bad cats here.
Suffering inside a car is a stock car thing.
Reigning SRX champion Tony Stewart, two-time Daytona.
Look at that body on Tony Stewart.
Michael Waltrip, tell me about the heat.
Well, Cat's right, but it's in the wrong context. I'll take the other context to Cat. That's what I feel like right now. But
It's hot, man. I mean, we started the race 100 degrees out here, and it's Florida. It's not Arizona. That's dry, so it's hot out there right now. But man, these cars are fun. I mean, Stremme and Kenny Schrader did an awesome job setting these things up. I mean, we all are fighting.
Fucking David Stremme and Kenny Schrader set these cars up. That's pretty funny. Why you would ever get David Stremme to set up a car for you, I don't know. Casey Kane's like, yeah, I know, right?
Glad you, not me. Tell me about it, champ.
I'll tell you this, Willie. Treadmill shape doesn't compare to short track shape. These
Mikey
guys
looks
race
like he's
better than
dying.
short track race in America.
Look, he's dripping.
Oh,
that's his tail.
They're heroes. It's
I was
tough
like, no
work,
way.
man, and, I had a car that I was really happy
Good thing it's a short race.
We talking about, is Bill Elliott okay?
Yeah, somebody check on Bill.
I mean, I guess Bobby driving like a granny up off the corner, and I get excited when I get to him and give it too much gas. So I just need to be better behind the wheel, and
I've
look
never
forward to
had
the next 75 or whatever it is.
What?
You're driving like
Buffalo,
a granny. I want to see the young granny.
Well,
I don't like their buffalo sauce. I usually get honey barbecue from there. Nah.
Okay.
Great job, gentlemen.
I just don't like that bright orange buffalo sauce.
So the taste ain't bad.
It's okay.
Boy, that Arby's.
That Arby's shit. Arby's look bad.
So we send all over the country so that he can tell and share the stories, the behind-the-scenes stories of
It
these
smelled
drivers.
good.
I think it might have been one of his most challenging assignments.
It smells really
getting
good.
two of the most feisty drivers out on the water.
NASCAR boating series.
Is SRX on Racing Reference yet?
Similar colors, but mine's a lot bigger. Good to see it. Doing the same thing. We're all going to get out and get wet today. I know. It's a perfect day out today. We never raced each
Makes
other.
me jealous. I want to be on the water so bad. Shut up, Dale. You get 6 days of being on water in October.
On Thursday Night Thunder, I'd be watching him and Jeff Gordon. There's a lot of parallels between me and Tony. I think the one thing is that we both
Michael, you got to
race
ride that
hard
Chevy
competitors
prop bed on
really,
road
really
courses
hard.
till the
We don't
wheels
give
fall off.
anybody any quarter. If you're going to get past us, you're going to have to work. And when we're coming up behind you, people start worrying
Stop
when
saying
you're in the
weird,
mirror.
Paul, like
So
you're Tony
I
Stewart.
think you're probably one of the guys that I've always wanted to race because I think there would have been a
Somebody
lot of
remind
hard
Paul
work.
Tracy of that Indy 500 he thought he was going to win.
One thing between the two of us is we have a filter. It's just really small. My PR person could never control what was going to come out of my
Tony ain't
mouth.
got no
My PR person, he's got more gray hair than I do.
I was going to say, Tony's PR person had the hardest job in the world. At the peak of Tony Stewart's NASCAR career.
For sure. For Penske, I mean, he never had a problem with me if I crashed a car or wrecked in a race. It was, sure.
Kid's an idiot.
He'd be a little bit upset about it, but I think one time I got out of the car and I said the car was a POS, and that got me fired the last time. So I'm one of the only guys that's driven for Penske, gotten fired, and then they asked to come back, and then gotten fired again. I think on Coach's side, he was probably he probably had more Monday morning damage than anything, having to deal with something that I said. I mean, he didn't
Between
have a
Tony
problem
Stewart and Kyle Busch, I don't know how Joe Gibbs is still in racing.
and getting the most out of our cars, but I think I probably gave him the most heartburn on Monday mornings for what I said after the races on Sunday. I'm sure I made lots of mistakes. I crashed lots of cars. I said some things I shouldn't have said. But at the end of the day, it brings you to where you're at now. So I mean, we're both where we are because of who we are, and that's I don't think that would change anything.
Nice tattoo, Paul Tracy. That totally doesn't reek of midlife crisis.
I've been into the go fast stuff, and this is the only thing that gives me the same thrill and adrenaline rushes as a race car. And your boat goes 38. This
Yeah, Michael, an Indy road course had to be tense last year watching a Ford and a Toyota fight it out, and then they take each other out, and AJ wins in a Chevy. That had to feel good. Of course, it would have been a lot more calm if Chase and Larson just finished 1-2 like they were gonna.
But it's after 150, you get to the point where the underwing of this thing starts packing air, and then it starts flying.
God, I hope we don't go 160 today. I'll let you drive.
Like the way that boat looked with the front end off the ground. God, look at Paul. Paul Tracy looks like Darth Vader. He looks like Darth Vader without the mask. Are we on Mustafar?
The thing about you for 2022, you documented it. You want to be there at the finish of a shot. combo platter tonight, not only are you battling these guys, but you're also battling the heat. How are you going to make it last?
I'll tell you what, it's so hot in the car right now. I mean, we see a guy like Helio with his experience, the amount of races he's won in hot weather, Indianapolis. When he gets out of the car, he after an IndyCar race, it looks like his hair hasn't been touched. And he is, I mean, that shows you how hot it is out here. It's brutal out here at Five Flags. Car started off pretty good. I made a good start, led for a little while, and then the tires started to go off. I was
truck race is starting in a few minutes.
Get the drive off, so we're gonna tighten it up and see what happens. But we gotta survive the heat.
It's all about location. You picked a good one for the break, right from the massive.
Yeah, we really didn't think this through, did we? Florida in the middle of June with a bunch of senior citizens behind the wheel.
I mean, in this heat,
Bubba Pollard, look, it ain't fucking with him. Bubba Pollard, out of all these guys, the one dude that's like, man.
Well, we had a decent car there. Was able to get out front and ride a little bit.
Bubba Pollard is in race shape, buddy.
I mean, it just when we took off there really good and clean air, and the more we ran there back in traffic, we got super free, and I feel like I was faster than those guys, but I couldn't carry no momentum into the corner. I was just super free on entry, so we're gonna do a wedge adjustment, air pressure, spring rubber. We're gonna pretty much max it out right here, and if I can just get in on entry good, I think.
Which reminds me, Motley Crue is playing in Miami tonight. Fuck, it must be just brutal out there. People probably left the building after Poison and Joan Jett played because Jesus, it's hot.
And I just hopefully we don't fall out of the seat when we make it to the end. Thank you.
Willie T bringing the charm. No one would know he's new to this broadcasting, right? What would it bring back?
And Bubba Pollard was the only guy up walking around, not sitting down going, ooh, ooh. It's fucking hot.
And we know, Yoakum, that you fished, you went out on a boat, so the question is, did you catch anything?
Anytime you get a chance to
Don't
go
want
out
Bill
on
Elliott
the
to die of
ocean,
heat stroke.
It's a magical day, and for Ryan Hunter-Ray, myself, and two of his elementary school buddies, we had a fantastic day. Yes, we caught 2 30-pound plus tuna, also some mahi-mahi, but I also caught a great glimpse of why Ryan Hunter-Ray is such a championship.
I've always liked
driver.
Ryan Hunter-Ray.
How he is grounded. The blinders are on, yes, when he's on the racetrack, and that is day job. But when he breaks away, the guys that keep him grounded are his buddies from elementary school. Yep, the kids on the block.
Just growing up in
Some
South
really loud
Florida,
music.
Kind of lived on the water and go boating with my dad. And as I was
Just
growing
eating
up
ice
with
cream
friends,
and watching these
we were
SRX
13
behind the
years
scenes
old,
videos.
out on the boat by ourselves, fishing, and it just grew into a passion for us.
Morning send-off. Tradition.
The most IndyCar.
I really love being out there in that purplish blue water and having a real sense of appreciation for what you're...
Guys, in your opinion, what's the most IndyCar name ever? I think Joseph Newgarden.
That was pretty good.
That's a good IndyCar name. Notice IndyCar names are nothing like NASCAR names. They're literally not.
I just think about the half names.
Yeah.
When
Like Hunter Ray.
you see it happen, fish comes out of the water. It's just a lot of action, chaos within a short amount of time. So it's really fun fishing.
Santino Ferrucci.
Castroneves.
Elio Castroneves. That's just a fun name to say.
But then you got Scott Dixon.
It's funny because a lot of people, when I tell them...
Which still just sounds like an IndyCar name to me.
Being on a lake...
That one, no.
Ain't nobody in IndyCar named Jimmy Johnson. Oh, wait a minute.
Jimmy, you get that huge adrenaline rush because you don't know what's on the other end of the line. So you have
It's more like a football name.
Yeah. You also have like, oh man, if I blow this, if this rod goes from being bent over to straight up, you know, that is the worst feeling you could
Yeah, Michael. I think Austin Dillon married a plastic doll that they had turned into a robot.
Since we were, you know, super young. Really, it's a team effort. I mean, you see
That show's going to be really boring if they talk about Austin Dillon's on-track career. That stupid show about him and his wife.
It just kind of goes without talking or communication.
Austin Dillon's one of the most underwhelming drivers of all time.
Get that escape, get that blow off of steam, and enjoy yourself, and then actually bring food home with it, and the food that you know is the most expensive at the grocery store. Yeah, that's great. As I say every time I'm on the boat with them, my kids are hungry. We better bring home something.
All in a day's work for Ryan Hunter-Ray. Oh, here you go. There's Yoakum and Ryan Hunter-Ray there. What they say, 2 30-pound fish. There's half the proof right there. All right, Wednesday, July 6th, expect the unexpected. Big Brother returns with all new house guests and all new
Like in a few years, humans will be having sex with dolls. It's like, dude, Austin Dillon's already way ahead of you, buddy. Those clickbaity headlines you see on Facebook.
I got awesome from Dawson here.
Look at Bill Elliott, who looks healthier than Paul Tracy.
You look good. I mean,
He does.
Bill is good.
And you act like you're 26, not 66.
I'm definitely the oldest guy here.
Dude, Bill raced at Darlington in the mid-'80s. So, ain't nothing going to top. Or Daytona on the 4th of July in the daytime.
But I'm telling you, I love this stuff.
Fuck.
I mean, this is, you know, you grow up doing this stuff, and I've been down here a lot with Chase over the last number of years. And to get out here and run this racetrack.
Back when you really had to manhandle your car at Daytona, this dude raced in 103-degree weather in the afternoon.
One of the legendary on the Saturday night, right? Saturday Night Live.
Willie T. Ribbs sucks on the microphone just like he sucks behind the wheel.
You know, learning a lot, trying to.
There's Chase. Look at Chase.
I mean, I need a little something, but it's hard to put my finger on exactly what I need. And you know, it's just you get to somebody and you think you can get by them, but man, it's a lot of effort.
I want Bill
Elliott. It's just like, man, I just got to kind of figure this out and get a little better.
That's a good idea. They need to synthesize his voice like Star Wars did James Earl Jones for Darth Vader. Because James Earl Jones is like 90 and the new Obi-Wan show it's a voice synthesizer imitating his voice. Need to do that for Bill.
Well, I'll have my days, but hey, we miss you out here. Wish you were here. At least you're here.
Yeah, Bill wishes Willie T was on the track because it guarantees you're not going to finish last.
Well, up here farther on the grid, Marco Andretti, he's got his helmet on. He's getting ready to
Where the fuck's Brad Daugherty?
One of the car chiefs here at SRX, and Marco told me he has never been this hot in a race car. Now remember, he took the win at Slinger a year ago in Wisconsin, looking for another really hot bull ring victory, but he is Gatorated up, he is watered up, waiting to go back in.
Gatorated.
Real quick, how are you going to save yourself?
I need a bigger bladder to get through this race
We made some adjustments for the rear.
if I was driving.
I think us IndyCar drivers go pretty loose. Ryan and I were talking anyway. I was pushing too hard to make up the positions they made me give up there. They called me in to fix damage and they made me restart at the back, so I lost a lot of track position.
Good luck, Willie.
Get in the car, fucker. It's hot as shit, brother HH.
How was the heat? How you feeling? What did the car
Biffle.
do for you?
Well, I mean, everybody's complaining about the heat. Of course, it's hot, but
I heard Biffle at Charlotte in 2011 have a fucking meltdown because his air conditioning quit working.
loosen the gas. It was really hard to drive, so I was working extra hard.
Look up Greg Biffle at the 2011 Coke 600. We're less than a quarter of the way through the race. The air conditioning broke on his car.
Ran me all the way to the back of that top lane. I couldn't get down, and
Bobby Labonte looks pretty fit.
something was wrong with his car, really, really loose. So, see what we can do in this main event.
About the
You
heat,
guys
but
made
that's
some
what we signed
changes
up for.
to remedy that.
Yeah, we put a bunch of wedge in it, rubber.
I think somebody might die at Nashville in the stands next week.
Once the temperature's coming
Not a driver. I'm talking about people in the stands.
Posted page said that people were falling out in the stands already the other day.
There's no temperature coming down anyway.
We saw people falling out at Charlotte a couple years ago. Yeah. The Xfinity race in 2019 at Charlotte. We saw people falling out.
That one was. I almost want to take my shirt
Really
off.
overheated in his Pensacola sun that does not feel much
In stage breaks and cautions, I was going inside, standing under the fan. And then as soon as they took the checker flag, I was like, let's go.
Newman really does have a definition on it.
Ain't it great that most of the races we go to are not races? Or cold. Fuck, Darlington being cold was a total mindfuck.
But Darlington was like, it wasn't really cold. It was just like.
That wind was like punching you in the face.
Yeah, it was just weird.
My face hurt after Darlington because my face was tensing up. We're going to Darlington in the fall. It might be hot, but the race will be mostly at night. It starts at 6. Going to Bristol, night race. Always cool at Bristol. Charlotte Roval could go either way. It's been really hot there. It's been cool there in October. I went to New Hampshire in 2011. It was 98 fucking degrees. I got the one hot day in New Hampshire. Year before it was like cloudy and 75. I sat out in 98-degree heat in New Hampshire to watch Bobby Labonte get a top 10. ...2011, what a great year in NASCAR that was. Did Jessica Friesen make the truck race? I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, she didn't, because she never does. Let me go ahead and get the leaderboard up in another tab. So when SRX is done, click over to that, and then we'll watch the rest of the truck race, whatever we miss. And I'll make the leaderboard show more names when we get to that point. Excuse me. Truck race still hasn't taken the green. I think they're just about to. This ice cream's good. I shouldn't eat it, but like I said, I've been busting my ass at work, and I can feel myself getting in better shape. Even though my fucking back hurts.
In Pensacola, Florida, as we welcome you back to the Camping World SRX.
All right, all the old timers have had their fucking Pedialyte, water, and Metamucil, so let's get this race going.
More than 3,200 miles. For a sense, that's sort of like driving from New York to Los Angeles. So it's lots of ground to cover, which begins here in Pensacola, and we'll wrap up on dirt at Sharon Speedway, which is home to the
Sharon
racing family. We cannot wait for that. Wait to watch the family showdown between NASCAR driver Ryan Blaney and his legendary
Dave Blaney will dog your ass on some dirt.
So next Saturday, we are in South Boston, Virginia. Famous, you should know, for fried bologna sandwiches and great racing. That
Fried bologna sandwiches. You people don't know about fried bologna sandwiches, do you? Shit's good. Next Saturday at 8. I hope I'm at home. Have to DVR that and the Xfinity race if I'm not. Actually, I'll get to see most of the Xfinity race if I work at 5. I get to see like an hour and a half of the Xfinity race.
Bubba Pollard. We saw Bubba finishing strong in that first heat. He was the leader.
Or I could bullshit a reason to go to work late and watch all the Xfinity race.
Saying that Bubba
I could do that.
Is going to get the win tonight in the main event, followed by Tony Stewart, Elio Castroneves, and Tony Kanaan. So as we get closer to the main event, we'll go now back up to the booth to Alan Bestwick and Connor Daly. And Connor, you were saying before how you thought the IndyCar drivers might have an edge because of just running in the 500. Do you still think that's the case?
Honestly, with how terrible these guys look down there right now, I don't know who's got the best shot. It just goes
Easy for old Alan Bestwick to laugh at in that air-conditioned booth.
People that don't understand motorsports are drivers, athletes, and you're like, absolutely. I mean, without a
Seriously though, Paul Tracy looked like Darth Vader on Mustafar.
Your heart rate's at maximum all the time because it's dangerous. It's very challenging. It's very competitive. The physical side, people just don't really understand. I can't tell you to go out on the highway right now, get in whatever you're driving.
Why do I feel like SRX is better for Haley Deegan than Trucks is?
Trying to go side by side with a bunch of other, Daytona 500 winners, Indy 500 winners. So the heat just adds to it all as well. I know right now in the IndyCar for sure, it's definitely some of the hottest races that we've ever been through. And once you get to a point where your heart rate, you're past what you normally compete at, and you're starting to feel that heat exhaustion, it's very hard. It's hard mentally because you kind of realize, like Elio said, he's like, I don't want to go one more lap. I can't do it. It's very, very difficult on the body, and I got to respect these guys right now for being out there doing it.
All right, let's check downstairs on pit road with Matt Yoakum.
Not a lot of work going on right now. Pretty much everything is getting ready. Window nets are growing up. A lot of work went on for Ernie Francis Jr. We documented the issues with his race car. It ended up being a broken steering rack. They have gone to the backup car. What they've also done, Jamie Tomato Jr., the interior specialist for SRX.
That motherfucker's last name Tomato?
Transfer over a lot of the driver cooling devices. You can see, now there's a hose like this that will go to his helmet. They have moved all that type of apparatus inside this race car. They've also gone with a bigger NACA duct on the right side window, up by the windshield. Much bigger opening than they ran for the first part of this race, trying to direct more air into the driver. As Dave Stoll, my camera guy, can kind of come around. You can see it's about twice the size, just trying to grab as much air.
I like the bodies on these SRX cars.
Air being pushed through the cockpit. A lot of things happening in a short amount of time down here on pit lane, getting ready to go green here shortly.
Damn, Jessica Friesen did make the truck race. Good for her.
Part of the reason we haven't restarted the cars already is the pace car has had a problem dealing with some of the heat, apparently. And so they're going to use one of the AMR safety trucks.
The pace car is broken. And Randy LaJoy is going to be the pace car driver.
Main event tonight. So,
yes, it's Corey's dad. For you kids out there, once upon a time, Randy LaJoy was a pretty good driver in the Xfinity Series.
The 140-something degree cockpit of a race car.
Heat is the ultimate enemy for race cars, for tires.
But heat sucks, but it makes racing so good, doesn't it? Think about Chicago 2018, Loudon 2011, Charlotte whenever it's hot outside.
Absolutely not. But when it's off.
That's why I love when I turn on a race and see that it's like 9,000 degrees, but I'm at home because I'm going to get to see a good race in air conditioning.
That poll that showed a lot of folks thought Bubba Pollard would win the race. They didn't even know yet he'd be starting on the pole by virtue of his average finish between the two heats. So the local all-star will lead into the green here shortly. You have the radio microphone in your hand.
Yes.
Bubba Pollard's about to lead all 75 laps.
Tony Kanaan, who he basically said to me before the race, ask me anything you want, whatever you want, wherever you want. And so here we go. Tony Kanaan, this is Connor Daly up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Tony, so far I think you've been my sneaky favorite for the win. You've been putting in 2 solid heat races. How is the car going off, and what do you think is going to be the key to making these tires last?
I think the key is going to be to take it,
Crowd's cheering. Can we fire up the cars and get going? Got another race I want to go watch.
So far the car's so good. A little bit of oversteer for the whole race, but let's see, maybe with the night coming down, it might help. But it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight.
I won't ask you about the heat yet because everyone's been asking, and I know that it's absolutely terrible. So give us at least the top 2 people that you might not like already tonight, and who are your enemies?
Actually, I haven't made any so far, so I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say anything. So far, so good. So talk to me after.
Who are your enemies, and why is it Paul Tracy?
I might talk to you after 35 laps. We'll see what happens. Good luck, man.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. Anytime, man. Keep me company. I feel lonely out here.
I'm going to switch back to my cable really quick because I want to see if CBS is back on. And if it is, we can channel surf instead of just sitting here and watching guys sit in their cars for a half a fucking hour. No, CBS is still not on. But I'm turning on the truck race for the moment. See if Fox Sports is working.
The drivers getting in order.
They still haven't taken the green in trucks. Let me get back to my Paramount Plus. I'm sorry, the Paramount Plus I'm stealing from somebody I don't even really know. Thanks, Anthony. Not my friend Anthony, this other guy, Anthony. Excuse me. If they'll let me have Paramount Plus on my PlayStation, football season will be great for me to watch the race on TV and football on the other.
Anyone right now who is on your enemy list? Are there any competitors that have done you wrong so far, and what's our plan to get them back?
You know, I haven't seen it yet, so, but I'm kind of
Bobby Labonte doesn't make enemies.
but I really haven't had anybody make me mad yet. How's that?
All right, well, good luck, man. Have a great run. Everyone's being real politically safe right now. It's no one's throwing any heat at anyone.
There's plenty of time for that to change because we're just getting ready for the main event.
And I gotta hide my leaderboard from me because I'm having to watch on Paramount Plus. Remember last year I had to hide the leaderboard when I was watching races on the NBC Sports app? Won't have to do that this year because those races will be on the USA Network.
IndyCar drivers have done a lot of the leading tonight, thanks to Castro Neves and Paul Tracy, who led a lot of heat number one. And it is the first time in our now almost 7-race-old SRX history that no NASCAR driver led any lap in the first 2 heats. How about that?
That is very interesting, yes, and I think all these drivers are thanking everything holy that the sun has gone down.
Yeah, at least the sun's not out now. The humidity, though, is just fucking horse shit in Florida. I hate Florida, dude. I love visiting, wouldn't want to live there.
That Bubba Pollard threw the entire kitchen sink at the car for adjustments, so I'm very curious to see how that works. And it looks awfully dark into turn 1. I raced at night before here, and it looks awfully dark into turn 1, so that'll be entertaining.
Quick update from Matt Gilbert.
Hey, Connor, you talk a lot about the hoses and how you direct the airflow. Now, Tony Stewart, he went old school, and his hose that comes in from the right side actually comes across his fire suit and goes into the zipper portion to try to get some air to flow through that fire suit. He took that suggestion, gave it to Elio Castro Neves. Castro Neves didn't like the fire suit idea, but liked moving the hose to come in at the back of the neck. And remember, he was the one that probably got overheated the most here, so most everybody has it going in through the top of the helmet.
Yeah, dealing with the heat. And the story of the day here, today's high temperature set a record for this date in Pensacola, Florida, as far back as they keep those records. So it's been a warm one. As the sun finally, though, starts to head down, maybe we'll get a little bit of relief for these drivers as our superstars go through our 75-lap main event.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, I mean, we only just went through 2 heat races. I mean, we got a full main event in front of us. So this is when we're really going to see who
75 laps ain't that long, which is good for this series, I think. Stands are half empty in trucks, yeah, because they saw the fucking race last year, Michael. That's why the stands are empty at fucking Knoxville. Because who the hell want to come back and see that? Here's a hint. Put the truck race back at Iowa Speedway where it fucking belongs. I'm not saying we should have everything race at Iowa, but I think trucks should race at Iowa.
Yes, single file. Now they're going to lay down the lumber tonight, right now.
What the fuck is Willie T. Ribs talking about? Why does he sound like Tony Atlas?
So, by refresher, field set from the average finishing position of the 2 heat races. Pollard and Kanaan on the front row. Pollard with a 1st and a 7th. Kanaan with a 2nd and a 6th in the 2 heat races.
Ozzy,
lineup
what are you doing, buddy?
Francis out in a backup car. He's in the back of the field. His car is now a black-colored accented machine. He's all the way at the tail end of the field. There's Ernie. And everybody has Ford Fresh
Motherfucking. This damn table, I swear. The table I have next to my bed is so fucking flimsy.
And I think, honestly, all the drivers are very, very happy to have 4 fresh tires. But I also think that it's very, very tempting to use those in the first 2 laps. I think you want to try to build a bit of a gap so you have less pressure on the bridge.
Caution in the truck race already. Well, good. We won't miss much.
My first guess is Tony Stewart. He just seems like a sly devil behind the wheel, and he knows that he's smarter than probably a lot of these guys.
Caution in the truck race already. It literally just started. Michael said the stands are half empty. I said, yeah, they saw the race last year at Knoxville. That's why nobody came back. Take a hint, NASCAR.
There are 10 laps to go in the main. Then all of the final 10 laps must be run under the green flag.
The most unnecessary pace laps in all of racing here at Five Flags Speedway.
I love this because I work in Brisbane every race, and this reminds me of what I see every weekend. We're under yellow, and Tony is at 130 beats per minute. And I promise you, from what I've seen in the past,
is them wings good or the chicken good?
Average, but then when I get overheated, it shoots straight up.
I like that honey barbecue flavor on them wings.
We'll be curious to see how this plays out.
Popcorn chicken, whatever you want to call it. Boneless wings is what they are. By the way, the pace car broke. It was so hot the pace car melted or something.
Five Flag Speedway, selected as one of the SRX tracks for this year. It's one of the biggest short track races in America, the Snowball Derby. First weekend in December every year now since 1968. A lot of very famous winners.
Ernie Francis is in that backup car, that plain black car in the back. They had to give him a backup car for the main. And man, Connor's right. Look how dark that backstretch looked on that one camera, because it's not lit like normal racetracks we see. 75 laps. There will be a random caution, probably around halfway if there's not a caution before then, I would assume. Bubba Pollard and Ryan Newman. Yeah, Newman, win me money. I know it's early. You got to really take care of them tires in these things. We've learned that last year and this year already in these heat races and everything. Got to take care of your tires. Pollard, Newman, and Tony Kanaan. Tony Stewart's fourth. Look at the run. Ryan got off a 2. Pollard didn't get back in the gas that well.
Contact back in pack. Paul Tracy and Michael Waldrop exchanging the 6th and 7th
Boy, as
positions.
hot as it is, too.
Tee up the 6th,
Yeah.
Michael the 7th. Behind them, Bill Elliott with a wiggle to the inside
Woo.
of Marco Andretti.
No, cut to a full screen replay. I'm trying to watch the race. Nah. Bill Elliott, Michael Waltrip side by side. Ha, 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 ha. I love Alan Bestwick.
It is interesting with the new tire grip. I do believe we've seen rows of 2 when the tires wear off. When you do have that new rubber, you can kind of
That truck race is going to last till midnight. We won't miss a damn thing.
once these tires fall off, you'll definitely have to be timing the runs to try and shoot it down the inside of some of these guys.
Somebody who follows racing every week, because of the sandy climate in this area, the
Yeah, let's go Newman. I'm with you. We both bet on Newman. Woo! Newman's going for the lead. Nope, couldn't get there. Took a little too shallow of a line into 1. Pollard entered wide, left the bottom open, but Newman entered too low. Now he's got to run off a 2 to the inside. We got a battle for the lead. I want to be mad when Newman gets like a 4-second lead and they throw the bullshit caution like they're going to do. I just need Ryan Newman to get out front. Hell, we all know how hard he is to pass. Pollard's carrying good speed off the top, just enough to clear it, not clear him, but beat him to the line. That time Newman gave him a little door action. And now Smoke is right behind him. 2 wide with Tony Kanaan. And Ryan Newman takes the lead. Call the race, buddy. And Pollard drove in hard on the outside to get it back. I think it's the laps go on the bottom is going to prevail more and more. As the tires wear, you're going to want to be on the bottom. You're killing your tires. Pollard's killing his tires running that high line, trying to hold that lead. He has to slot back in front of TK before he loses second place.
Which was quite exciting.
They hit lap 10 the same time. Look at that
Wow.
contact as they race for
Yeah, Dylan have to keep an eye on Dylan's got trucks on his phone right now. Rhodes and Hover Car are racing hard. Hover Car. Carson Hover Car.
It's funny, we have 2 truck drivers and then shit posting page 2.
Who's the second one?
This guy. It's his first race.
Oh, nice.
And we were there.
Need to make him a trophy or a shirt. Pollard taking the lead back from Newman. Drove it in hard into 1. Just like that, we're back into second.
But this guy is actually trying to get NSP put on the
Damn, TK dooring the shit out of Ryan Newman off of 4. It's letting Pollard get away.
Here's Pollard looking to become the second of the local All-Stars to get a win.
Newman and TK being side by side is bad, especially now that Newman's on the outside. Elio passed Tony Stewart.
Right behind the 2 of them. Tony Stewart is
TK loose.
Into that inside
Newman's going to get a good run off of 2. TK got loose on the bottom. Now Newman's back to the bumper of Pollard. Yeah, I bet Tony's doing that thing he did all last season where he runs 5th or 6th the whole race, saves his tires, then blisters their ass at the end. That's all he did last season. Ooh, Paul Tracy knocked him out of the way. Now Tony's going to run hard, probably because he's pissed off. Now Bobby Labonte's getting underneath Paul Tracy. Old Gibbs teammates there, Bobby and Tony, they were good teammates together everywhere except the plate tracks. And yeah, Bobby's roughing him up, getting him off the bottom. You go, Bobby. Greg Biffle running dead last. Ooh, Tony now. I told you Tony's mad. Yeah. Bobby roughed him up, then Tony roughed him up. And now here comes Bill. Bill cut him a break. Bill drove in on him, but he cut him some slack there, as opposed to what Smoke was doing. And now TK's going for the lead. What a battle for the lead this is. Damn. Got loose. Takes the lead anyway. He used Pollard to make the exit of the corner. This is good. I didn't know how good this racing would be. Elio's gotten in front of Newman now. Really loose, making contact with Bubba Pollard. Throw a blanket over him. And Ryan Newman said, nope, you ain't getting back on the bottom. Pollard tried to slot in front of him. Newman said, nope. I would expect around halfway they'll throw a caution. Even though I don't think they need to. Not with the way this race is going. Ooh. The fuck happened to Elio there?
It's not surprising to me at all. But let's see how they run off their tires. Yeah.
Tony Kanaan is the race leader.
20 laps in. TK, Elio, Bubba Pollard. And the caution is out. You didn't need to throw a caution that soon. TK was getting too far ahead. Stop with your license music, please.
Damn, Tony, that's me in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Just hit him and get him loose, and then use him to slow you up. You go. That's the video game move. Yeah, that truck racing is boring. Carson cars just smoking their ass right now.
Damn, I'm starting to feel bad that I promised I'd stream the truck race after this, because I'm fucking tired. But
Haley Deegan started top 10 running 17th. Matt Crafton you picked?
yeah.
15th. He's currently running behind Matt DiBenedetto. Jessica Friesen 20th.
There's a stupid baseball game going on in town tonight, and I can hear the shit all the way at my house.
Carson might lap into the top 20 in the first stage.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He's already up to 29.
Hopefully that race goes as green as long as it can.
Is Jessica Friesen supposed to be a good driver?
I don't know.
Because the lap times are like 3/10 off the leaders. So I feel like that's really not bad. A second and a half quicker than the back the cars running in the back. Damn. Guys are 2 laps down now.
During the side-by-side
Yep,
commercial
Bubba
break,
Pollard on pit road under this caution.
being changed.
Changing the left rear.
Yeah, it's brutal to see, honestly. You hate to see that because he's going to have to start from the rear now. However,
Oh, Bubba Pollard's lost his track position. For you Ryan Newman bettors, that's good news. We just got to deal with these damn IndyCar drivers getting in our way. Between me and my money, got some open wheel pansies trying to take my money.
So we've had 3 different leaders already in tonight's main through this first caution.
That fun flag was a little premature. They should have waited till halfway. They threw the fun flag at lap 21. They could have waited till halfway.
In a main event. They're almost there already.
This has been fantastic, honestly. The racing, after watching the heats, this has definitely been better than I think, or than I thought it was going to be, but it could be because it's cooled down a little bit. The sun going down, it widens the track a little bit, and I'm very, very excited for the next few laps.
This may be where that flat up rear on Bubba Pollard's car could go.
Ben Rhodes overheating. You'll love to see it. Yeah, Chris, I made that joke earlier before I streamed because Dylan said, ain't nobody winning Clinton's money this week. And I said, yeah, except maybe the family of the victim.
That's the hole that the Goodyear engineers have diagnosed was letting all the air out of
Then again, who walks on the fucking highway at night?
Yes, he will. So Bubba Pollard goes back to 13th in line.
Oh, they're loving this. We got a caution. One of the fastest cars in the field's got to start in the back.
You know what's really interesting, too? You've got guys like Greg Biffle, Marco Andretti back there. And those are 2 really, really quick guys. So I'm very curious to see if they've just been saving tires.
Coming to the green with about 49 to go. Another caution in the truck race. Great launch by TK. Ryan Newman third. We're still right there in it, and Bubba Pollard's out of the way for now. So if we can just get these open wheel guys out of here.
Side by side, several rows deep. This is fantastic racing yet again.
Bobby Labonte fourth. Bobby's having a great run.
Countrymen from Brazil, they have raced together an awful lot. I'll bet neither one of them over a year ago would have thought they'd be racing a stock car on a short track on a Saturday night like this.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure they started racing IndyCar before I was even 10 years old. So incredible careers.
I do miss IROC at places like Michigan there. Michigan and Daytona IROC races.
SRX so fully and with such enthusiasm. 2 just great guys, not just great race drivers, and it'll be Kanan who gets the lead away from Castroneves there.
Ooh, Elio got tight. Opens the door for Newman. Let's go, Newman. Oh, Elio cut him off on the straightaway. Newman let him have it, though. Newman didn't press the issue getting into the next corner.
This guy is an elite athlete, a triathlete, an Ironman cyclist, all kinds of things, and his heart rate is pumping real hard.
Just to clarify, Tony is a father of 4.
That's a lot. I have 3 younger brothers, and I know how that goes.
All right, so it's Kanan, Castroneves, Newman, Labonte, and Stewart in the 5th. Paul Tracy just got knocked back to 9th place in a shuffle of traffic.
I think we're going to have to dial up our friend Tony Stewart here and see how he's feeling.
You going to talk to Tony under green?
Tony Stewart, it's Connor Daly. How you feeling out there?
Trying to find the air conditioner in the winter right now, bud.
Yeah, it looks like they've all been shut off from up here, but it looks like you got rid of Paul Tracy pretty quickly. I thought you guys became friends on your boats.
Well, he tried to scare the crap out of me, but no, it's fun riding with him, but he makes it interesting out here for sure.
What do you think?
Tony's mellowed.
Next step to catching old Bobby in front of you. What do you think? Are we saving tires or are we going?
Gotta catch your old teammate, Smoke.
No, we're trying to take care of these things a little bit. We got on the outside there, trying to get by Tony Kanan, and probably hurt him a little bit. So just trying to make nice with my 4 fresh Goodyears here.
I hope Ryan Newman's taking care of his shit. Watching these 2 IndyCar guys kill each other.
Watch out for Ryan Hunter-Ray. He's right behind you.
Ha ha ha. Every time. I need a supercut of every Alan Bestwick laugh and every SRX broadcast. Alan Bestwick is pure fucking class, though. If Fox Sports was wise, they'd bend over backwards to get him to replace Mike Joy whenever Mike Joy has to sadly retire.
I was talking about it with Castro Evans and Kanan, but Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Yeah, as soon as Paul Tracy doored the fuck out of Tony Stewart's when they should have radioed to Tony. They're like, Tony, what are you about to do?
When he did a test at Caraway Speedway in North Carolina for the General Motors Driver Development Program.
Yes, you know what? It just goes to show
There's
you
Bubba
that
Pollard passing Bill Elliott for 7th.
Formula 1 driver, NASCAR driver, IndyCar driver. You are an elite level driver, and I think a lot of
So he's gone from 13th to 7th. We still got about 37 laps to go.
Some of the best IndyCar drivers out there, some of the best stock car drivers out there, some of the best short track drivers.
Greg Biffle running dead last. I am disappointed. Did Mikey just put the bumper to Bill?
I think if you brought Lewis Hamilton or any of the Formula 1 drivers,
Caution's out. What's up? Is this another fun flag? Really?
Caution flags out. Bubba Pollard up to 7th position at this second.
They need to throw it that soon. Wasn't even 20 laps. It's the last one. I know they have. I think they have them built in for commercials and shit too, but still, lame. Are we ever going to get the days of like natural racing to ever return outside of Formula 1 and IndyCar?
Your local dirt track.
Go to your local dirt track. Watch some guy win by fucking 2 laps.
Yeah, where the same guy wins.
'Cause that's real racing.
Where they think it's cool when somebody wins 10 races in a row.
Yeah, people love that, but if a NASCAR driver wins 3 or 4 weeks in a row, they're the antichrist of fucking motorsports.
People love it. All them Richard Petty show up to the local dirt track.
The next Richard Petty could be at your local dirt track.
I love it because every race that you watch, when they drop the green flag, you know who's going to win by the time they come out of turn 2.
So it's like a cup race at Pocono with the low horsepower, high downforce package, son. You know who's going to win coming out of turn 2.
It's like overtime where everybody's a lap down but the leader.
Oh yeah, Jamie Little's calling the truck race tonight. Good for her. I just still associate her with how much I hated ESPN. Ain't it funny how ESPN sucked balls covering NASCAR until their last year? It's like in 2014, their last year, they actually started trying. And Alan Bestwick was in the booth every week, and it was great. And it was like sad that they were gone. You know, it sucks I can't sleep too late tomorrow because I have to work the next day. But I might just say fuck it and do it anyway.
Our debut for the summer of 2022, live from Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. And a reminder that tomorrow on CBS, it's full afternoon of sports. It begins at 1 Eastern.
Oh shit, the WNBA's on tomorrow. We got something to watch on Sunday.
That's followed by action in the WNBA between Connecticut and Washington. Then at 4 Eastern, we move to the pitch for live coverage of the NWSL. That's all tomorrow here on CBS.
I miss football season. It's coming.
That is our in-car.
Can't wait to see how irritated I get when work complicates my football watching ability. If I had signal at work, it wouldn't be a problem. If I could just have signal at work, I'd sit there at the register and watch football.
See really how much these guys are trying to be easy on the front and conserve those rear tires, but also how they're trying to defend the guys behind.
He might also become one of the only few to beat all 32 NFL teams. He's got to beat Pittsburgh and New England. Yeah. Matt just has to beat Pittsburgh and New England, and he can say he's beat everybody.
Even when Brady was in New England,
And now that Matt's in the AFC, he'll get his shots at Pittsburgh and New England as opposed to once every 4 years.
About the heat as well. Sometimes these pace laps are the worst because when you're at speed, you get the airflow through.
Yeah, if I watched F1, what time's the F1 race tomorrow? Not that I'm going to get up and watch it, but I'm curious, what time does it come
The
on?
other side of that coin is some of the drivers were telling us earlier today that running around under the caution, sticking the hand outside the window net, that kind of thing, they could direct a little additional air to themselves to try and cool down. So we'll hope that that's the case, because we know they're working hard while they're racing.
I do have experience recently racing some old Crown Victoria race cars. Yes, those are old police cars, and under yellow it was the worst. Don't ask about the race.
The Golf U.S. Open. You make some money tomorrow.
Did I win? No, but we did have to open the doors.
Always something to bet on.
Guys can't really open their doors and slow themselves down.
Doubled up for the restart here. I know you're kind of new at this, but you can't drop something like that and not expect me to follow up on it. So you better be prepared, like with photos next week or something.
Oh, don't worry. I have something in the chamber for you.
There you go. All right, Tony Kanaan, the race leader, has chosen the inside line for the restart. Elio Castroneves is outside him. Then it'll be Ryan Dillon and Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart and Ryan Hunter-Ray, then Bubba Pollard up to 7th place as we go green.
Green flag. Tony Kanaan, Elio, Ryan Newman.
Love a bit of side-by-side battle in here. 5 Indy 500s between those two gentlemen right there.
Between Ryan Newman, Elio, and Tony Kanaan, there are 5 Indy 500 wins.
Real hard down the back screen, trying to dupe old Tony into a
Oh, boy. 4-wheel slide. TK squeezing Elio into the outside wall, but Elio still takes the lead around the outside. And then TK gets back in the gas, the center of the corner, and they're still side by side. And they're knocking the shit out of each other. This is a golden opportunity for Ryan Newman. Coming to 30 to go.
Which way's the lane going to open up?
That's what Ryan Newman's just waiting to see. And he's got Bobby Labonte all over him. Hocevar just won the first stage of the truck race. For all 10 people at Knoxville. Damn, Castroneves tried to hold NASCAR crossover move there. Wasn't close enough and missed the entry to 3. Hit the apron. TK pulls away a little bit. Ryan Newman's being really patient here. Reminds me of me following Dillon at Bristol a little while ago. A little patience. Try not to drive too deep in the corner and run him over.
So far, Bubba Pollard has moved back up to now 6th position around Ryan Hunter-Ray.
What's really interesting, too, it looked like Tony Stewart might have a bit of an issue, too. He lost a couple positions.
Smoke has lost a few spots.
So, very curious to see what's going on with Smoke as well.
Issue or saving tires.
Gamesmanship.
I figure Tony's still in save mode. He's so good at that in this series. Who would have thought the guy who helped make these cars and made this series is good at driving the cars and managing equipment.
There's Stewart.
Greg Biffle can't be happy with how his day's going. Getting outrun by Ernie Francis in a backup car. Man, my job would be perfect if I had signal. I gotta ask Lori about what's the fucking Wi-Fi. She said we have Wi-Fi, but it's kind of shitty. I'm like, I don't care. I need something in there, especially if I'm gonna have, because I'm sure there'll be a football game or two this year I'll have to miss on like a Thursday night. I'll have to miss a Thursday game or something probably this year. Maybe a few. If I think it's gonna be a good game, I'll fight to like switch schedules with somebody so I can like watch it. Like I'm already thinking like first game, the opening game, Bills and Rams. I'm not missing that. That's the first game back. I'm not missing that. We got to do something in that fucking store to get some signal in there. Bobby Labonte just pulled over and let Bubba Pollard pass him. Bobby Labonte's in on it. The fix is in. Now Ryan Newman's the next car in front of Paul. Well, we're not winning any fucking money.
Bobby and his older brother Terry have both been always very good from inside the race car at being a thinking man's driver, if you will, seeing the bigger picture.
I gotta ask Lori at work, can we get some damn internet or something in here?
That's exactly what that was, honestly.
Because I would buy a little thing and prop my phone. I would tape my phone to the thing in front of my register and have the game on and just be like. Imagine choosing to have people call you Bubba Wallace, Bubba Pollard. I don't know why people. I would never want to go by a name like Bubba. Working Ryan Newman over like a pommel horse right now. He's learning now just how hard it is to pass Ryan Newman.
Fun fact. Chase
or not. Newman let him go.
Won one of the last races at North Wilkesboro.
With 19 laps.
Bobby Labonte and Ryan Newman both pulled over for Bubba Pollard. Nah, they're being smart.
And a caution.
And then a caution comes out. It's like every time Pollard gains a couple spots. Caution! I don't like these forced cautions.
Now, Elio and Tony are going to wreck each other.
They're even worse than stage cautions because these are just completely random, it seems. But the boomers won't complain about it because it's not NASCAR. Somebody said good luck having the street race in Chicago and finding enough road in the city of Chicago without enough potholes to swallow an entire car whole.
We'll have to fix the potholes for the city.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard the government. Have your thermostat on 82 when you're sleeping. Dude, if it gets to 74, I'm getting pissed off when I wake up. I'll wake up and be kind of sweaty and get mad and go look, it'll be on 74. And how about this? Put Daytona back to the 4th of July and make Atlanta the final race of the regular season. Boom. And have that be the only Atlanta race. Atlanta doesn't need 2 races. For all you metalheads, I get to meet Zach Wild on the Kiss Cruise because Black Label Society's playing. I like how I'm like, okay, he's got Black Label Society, but I wish he would just bring his Black Sabbath cover band, Zach Sabbath, because that's way cooler.
At Five Flag Speedway on Superstar Saturday night, the Camping World SRX Series coming down to what'll be 15 laps of racing to the finish. We'll take the green with about 15 to go. Remember, the final 10 laps of the race must be run under the green flag. Tony Kanaan.
Old TK dominating, and we're getting down to 16 to go here under caution.
Main event, he's led 40 of the laps we've run so far. But the man everybody's got an eye on is going to line up on the outside of row number 2, the local all-star Bubba Pollard.
Absolutely.
Hey, Vince McMahon's no longer the CEO of WWE.
I think the send mode comes out to play here. There's going to be guys firing it down the inside here on the restart because you might not get that.
And Sasha Banks is the greatest female wrestler of all time, and WWE sucks. The end.
You know, now is your shot to make up positions. You're going to have Michael Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Marco Andretti near the back that are going to be like, all right, now it's time to go. We've been saving our tires. Let's try.
I'm amazed at how Tony Kanaan is dominating, and we've just been ignoring it because I'm just obsessed with watching Newman and Bubba Pollard. Just ignoring the fact that TK's dominating and Elio's hanging right there with him. Have I heard of Max Sabbath? Yes, I have. And don't you ever joke about season finale at Texas. 15 to go. TK Elio out front. Bubba Pollard's going to win, though. Oh, man. Elio even... Oh, he and TK are giving each other even less room now. Oh, TK closing down on him. That's going to open up the bottom for Newman. Pollard's held up in the top line. I thought Newman was going to get a run to take him 3 wide. Pollard sent it around the outside of Newman. Newman's car washes up. And Elio and TK are still side by side. Oh, look at how loose TK was drifting into turn 3. And Elio's gripping the bottom, and he's taking the lead. He cleared him. Oh, no, he didn't. TK's back to his outside on the quarter panel. Now he's cleared him.
It looks like he's lost it, and Elio will basically now just try to...
Pollard can't get around once again. Now Newman's not going to let him go. Newman let him go a minute ago for the caution.
Newman fighting all he can to keep Bubba Pollard outside of him.
Incredible overviews here from Elio Castroneves. Trying to see how smooth he's got to be here.
And Ned Flanders medal band. I've heard of those guys.
I mean, this is a four-time champ right here, the Indy 500, so he knows what he knows.
Visor cam on Elio.
Here's a look at the scoring on Elio Castroneves.
Has Elio ever won a short track race of any kind in his entire life? He's 11 laps away from winning one here. Michael Waltrip in last place where you would expect him to be. Mikey's last now. I'm starting to think Elio's going to win. 10 to go. Yeah, they'll probably throw a fucking caution with 5 to go. He can't get around Newman, I told you. Newman let him go the first time. He ain't letting him go now.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think
Newman's doing just enough to stay in his way.
has actually been one of the best of the entire event tonight.
Spin him out and get a caution, Bubba. Look at that fucking yellow line.
Let me get right inside.
Just get the nose in there, Bubba. And now Ryan Newman's run up on the back of TK for second. Now he's got to figure out, this might hurt Newman here, getting stuck behind TK. Open up a chance for Bubba to get by him. Get out of the way, TK. Now Newman goes to the outside of TK. That's going to open up the bottom for Bubba. I'm guessing TK's going to plant that thing on the bottom and just be a fucking roadblock. Oh, man, we're going to finish second, Michael. Fucking Elio's driving away. Newman can't clear TK. Pollard's right there. It's a 3-car battle per second. Elio's just cruising. How has Elio not completely killed his tires like Tony Kanaan? Because I think that's what Tony's fighting right now. It's just no tire left on that car. Still good speed to get on the bottom, though. Now Newman's cleared him. God damn it. Can we get a caution? Yeah, Newman packed it in way too deep around the outside there. Now I'm wishing for a fun flag. I don't know who's more frustrated, Newman or Pollard at this point. TK, loose, sideways. They're 3 wide for second. It's not for the lead, but it's for second. God damn it, Newman finally clears him, and now Bubba's to his inside. Son of a bitch. Elio's got a 2-second lead with 4 to go. Pollard couldn't get to Newman's inside until TK set it up for him. 3 to go. I wish Elio would blow a tire. Why is he here? He should be in prison. Elio Castroneves should be in prison. Why is he here? 2 to go. Can somebody please bust their ass? Except Newman. Oh, man. What are the rules? They take the white flag as it race over? Oh. I think Pollard is going to beat Newman for second. It's going to be close, though. One more lap. Elio way out front. The race is on for second. And Pollard cleared him. He used him up off of 2. Elio Castroneves wins. Pollard second, Newman third. Good bet on Newman, though. He was right there the whole time. Yeah. Yeah.
It sucked.
I only wanted a flag because I wanted money.
But I'm glad they didn't sell out.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do anything.
They seem to throw a caution about every 20 laps or whatever. We'll flip to the truck race in a minute. Yeah, you lost $5 and I didn't gain anything. Looks like I did have to pay for my damn Oreo blast tonight. Well, I hate to skip out on post-race interviews, but I want to see what's going on with the trucks. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it there. Is CBS back on my cable? Nope, still not on, but Fox Sports 1 is.
Right there says that she is a rookie.
Oh my God, the truck race is red flagged.
So they'll sit, they'll get everybody back out on the track and get them lined up in order.
Fuck
She's doing a nice job too. I think she finished that first stage
The
in the
SRX
18th
race
position.
was on lap 10.
Really holding her own.
They were on lap 10.
Well, as we wait to
Be the
fire them up,
longest
let's
day.
get an update
Laps
from
and
Heather.
the amount of time it took for them.
Well, I've been keeping my.
Yeah, Chris Dillon told me about the bet between Spencer and Brayton. I didn't see it, but Dylan told me about it. What? Because we've got a spoiled fat dog that won't jump on the bed. I have to stop what I'm doing every night to go put her fat worthless ass on the bed. God damn it. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back.
And then celebrate across the street at Dingus, just like everybody else does when they come here to Knoxville Raceway. Josh?
Yeah, and another driver out here whose plan is to go to victory lane, and his first time ever in the truck is Tyler Carpenter. Actually got into this race by winning the Gateway Dirt Nationals back in December, earning a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but he said this is the goal, to be in the NASCAR Top Series, and the Truck Series is a good jumping-off point to get there. Now, for him, he's having a little issue right now staying on the bottom. He says, I can't run that bottom line.
That dude looks like a Tyler, and he does not look 31.
Out here, but it's a learning process for Tyler. He said this is the first time in the truck.
Congratulations, Elliot Kushner. That SRX race was fun. I'll be sad if I have to miss it next Saturday night. That was really good.
Or someone in his ear, so it's all a learning process for Carpenter.
Oh, they red flagged us the stage in. Okay, my bad. I ain't been watching, so I don't know.
Tyler Carpenter, who's 19th right now, but talking about a big
No, Chris, this is the second and final annual 6-hour truck race at Knoxville. Because I guarantee they won't come back there next year. I guarantee
Well, I
it.
tell you, when you don't have a spotter and you're in a dirt car, you have to use every
Excuse
part
me.
of your brain. You've got to figure out how to search around. You know, you're looking, you're listening. When you get a spotter, it's almost like a cheat code. It's like, hey, run the top this time.
Change the scale of my screen so you can see more names on the
His love of these
leaderboard.
dirt tracks so well is going to pay off well for him tonight. The reason he's in that truck is from winning a dirt late model
Damn it.
race. Al Neese said, if whoever wins this race is going to get to drive my truck in Knoxville. Tyler won, and he said, man, I don't think Al Neese knows what he's getting himself into here.
I just want to hear him interviewed. I hear he does quite the interview. He has a personality, you could say. Oh, and you talked about the race he won?
At least Haley Deegan hasn't been junked yet.
Oh, that's so cool.
Truck Series finale at
Well done,
Knoxville.
Albies. We need to see more of these types of things, you know, to get these
If you want the season to never
racers on
end, put the
national
finale at
platforms,
Knoxville.
See what they can really do. Well, track prep continues, so the action can continue.
There ain't enough track
to
prep in the
keep
world to
us
make this
excited.
race not suck dick, but it might be entertaining. The question is, how is Hocevar going to get fucked over this week? Dylan, you should have never got rid of your PlayStation.
I don't regret it because now I have to get a PS5. Otherwise, I'd just be like, nah.
Do you know where and how you're going to get one? You're going to get one like I did on
I
this.
probably have to order it.
Yeah.
But when I talked to Justin at Game Haven, I asked him how much they sell them for retail.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you can get a disc one for like $450, and you can get the digital one for like $400 or something like that up there. He's like, but they just don't ever have them. They said sometimes people will trade them in, and I'm like, who the fuck would trade in a PS5?
God, you know, they couldn't do it, but it'd be great if you'd be like, hey, as soon as you get one traded in, call me.
Justin would.
Oh, Justin would?
Justin would call me.
Well, good. If I ever need
But
anything.
I'm probably not the only person who's been like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, you know.
If I ever need anything, pretend it's for you and tell him to call you. So be like, hey.
They go to conventions and everything.
Yeah.
Justin's the reason he can find some rare shit, dude.
Yeah, Knoxville is karma for NASCAR fucking over Tony Stewart and Eldora. So they deserve this race to not sell tickets and suck balls. And put the truck race back at Iowa Speedway. I'm not the biggest Iowa Speedway fan, but it was something different, and I think trucks should race there. Excuse me. Elio said that he had a bet with the SRX CEO that if he won, they would find Elio a part-time cup ride.
Fucking Trackhouse.
Trackhouse. I almost guarantee Elio might run a cup race for them next year.
I like that.
He'll run Indy or something, Indy road course
like that.
track he's familiar with. Imagine at this point in his life seeing Elio in a cup car. Like 15 years too late, but... SRX race was good. Now it's all downhill from here.
I know, I'm tempted to not even watch this damn race.
I'd like to see Elio get a shot in NASCAR.
God, that would be so cool.
Drive a road course for Junior Motorsports and Xfinity, and then run a cup race for fucking Trackhouse. Everybody's tagging the Trackhouse 91 car team Twitter page. It's like, come on.
He know what he's doing.
You got Kimmy at Watkins Glen. Let's get Elio at Indianapolis. Maybe he should do the double next year. Him or Jimmy Johnson, or both.
I just wish it didn't say NASCAR.
Yeah, Chris, good call. I just saw your comment right as I said that. Remember that, so I didn't tell you guys, but that commercial for that vintage thing reminded me. We were at Charlotte, and we saw this badass Dale Earnhardt Jr. Coca-Cola polar bear shirt from like 1998. It was from Japan. Those cars, you know, the ones that Suarez and Chastain drove at Darlington. And I was like, oh, that's a cool shirt. I asked the lady, how much is it? She said, hold on, I'll find out. She comes back, $120. Fuck that. It ain't that cool. I would have loved to have had it. If she'd have said $30, I'd have been like, yeah, sure. Maybe even $40. But $120 for a shirt? Fuck off.
And Trevor, would you say a new racetrack here for the start of this second stage?
I'd say it's a lot more similar to how...
Man, I'm so happy. I was just sitting here thinking about Trackhouse. Trackhouse is like the best thing to happen to NASCAR in the last several years. What a great thing. We got a new team that's like becoming a super team, and they want to expand.
And you gotta move
They did what I think
everybody
everybody thought 2311.
Yeah, and 2311 can still do that. But Trackhouse is way ahead of the curve, buddy.
I think the future's bright.
Yeah.
As much as you're gonna get, but
I wanna
that
see
will
a
help
Red
with the
Bull
track
charge,
prep. They're trying to keep moisture in it, and that'll help lap time stay pretty fast here as well.
I opened 5 years. Trackhouse is a 4-car team.
Moffat, he's up 15 positions. How about that story? He's actually the youngest winner at this racetrack, but they didn't
For $120, it better come with a piece of Dale Earnhardt's brain matter in a jar. If I'm going to buy it.
That he had to be 16.
Neither did the fake birth certificate. You know, probably a long. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's good to see him in the field.
Yeah, Brett had a little dirt racing this week. He raced at Millbridge. Along
Hey,
with
Brett
Tanner
Moffitt,
Gray
he's that
and John
moron that said
Nemechek.
Suarez would never win a race.
3 drivers in the field tonight that raced this week at Millbridge, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina.
You know, it's crazy to me and fun. You go to a local dirt track or even, you know, national.
And I like how this race and broadcast compared to the SRX race, I know they're under caution, has zero energy.
Like Tyler Carpenter.
I feel
But you
nothing.
Talk to NASCAR drivers and they all
And they're
love racing
conveying
on dirt,
nothing.
you know, and it's just one of those things where they're both so.
Look at the big
unique and
hole
so
in the front of
different,
host of
and,
ours
you know,
truck.
I talked to Mike
Like I said, I've been watching SRX. I haven't seen
driven
what's
some
going
truck
on.
Races. He's run some cup race. He ran a cup race on dirt. at
Haley
Bristol.
Deegan's missing a big
We're
chunk
just
of her
talking about
front
those
end,
cars,
too.
What this
Leading
drive's
the
like
race, and
versus
they
his
didn't
dirt
even
league
close.
model where he's
Yeah.
super successful. And he said, you know, I'd love to get on a mile and a half sometime on a pavement track and just see what it's like. And I think that's kind of, it's cool how it correlates back.
You got a
to
Todd Law signed jersey for $50, and this bitch was trying to sell me a Dale Earnhardt Dale Jr. shirt for $120.
Kyle Busch.
Like, no thanks.
He has his
I
own
remember the look we
micro
gave. It was like,
Yeah.
keep walking.
No, thank you.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, damn, you know, $40 maybe, like 50.
I'd have bought that shirt for like 40.
Whose wife Jennifer,
She just
they
looked.
just had their baby,
So casually. Oh, 120
2 weeks, which is
Like,
very
what?
commendable.
for a shirt? I know it's a classic shirt, but damn. And I'd hate to ask what that Darrell Waltrip tie jacket would have been. I knew that would probably be expensive. I wanted it, but I didn't even bother asking for that.
Carson's gonna
I'd wear the fuck out of that Darrell Waltrip tie jacket, though.
He was comfortable.
That was pretty sick.
Todd Gilbert, this ought to be good.
You're right. I could get that Earnhardt shirt printed up
brand new group with Stuart
for way cheaper than $120.
Look at that.
All right, we're watching a truck race now.
Sky.
Unfortunately, because I said I would. I hate making promises I don't want to keep.
Only 110 more laps.
Only 110 more laps. Hell, last year, though. Go back and watch the end of my stream from last year where I was ranting and raving about how much I fucking hate Knoxville Speedway. That was the turning point of when I stopped caring about the truck series. Knoxville last year was the downfall of me in the truck series. I was like, I can't take this shit anymore. And Derek Krause is a big fucking reason why, but it's good to see him running well this time. Hell, he ran well last year and just wrecked everybody.
And now Grant Enfinger working his way in.
For now.
Grant Enfinger's never finished out of the top 10 on dirt. 6 times on dirt, all top 10 finishers.
Sneaky good. He's one of those that's just always there, kind of like Matt Crafton in the 88. You see him kind of coming in the picture in the back there. We talk about Todd Gilbert. He said it's just like last year. He led 61 laps here and finished 4th a year ago. I think he had a little bit of fun and said, hey, Dad, you guys need somebody to drive that truck. So he's driving for his dad, actually, for the first time ever here.
Majeski trying to make the very bottom of the racetrack work, and it looks like it is working for him. He was able to get by the 38 of Zane Smith. Now he's going after Nemechek.
Carson Hovercar.
Load of water on the bottom. They didn't really touch the middle there.
I'd love to see Majeski win a truck race. Majeski and Hocevar are like the two things in trucks that I believe in. I want to believe in Haley Deegan, but she has such shitty luck. But Hocevar and Majeski, they give me hope. But most of this field, they can just jump off a fucking bridge. Go to the Golden Gate Bridge with Marcos Ambrose, like Wally Dallenbach said. You don't remember that. It was after Marcos cut his car off at Sonoma trying to go uphill, lost lead under caution. Jimmy Johnson wins the race. And after the race, Wally Dallenbach in the booth goes, well, if you want to know where Marcos Ambrose will be in about an hour, go to the Golden Gate Bridge. Kyle Petty goes, oh my God. Oh, nowadays you'd get in so much trouble for making that joke.
As you mentioned, there's really no middle.
Yeah, Haley Deegan's 10th.
It's really tough to be patient in this setting. I mean, he's obviously better than some of these trucks.
Yeah, I bet on Matt Crafton. He's top 10. Crafton's an underrated little dirt racer. Most of this race is going to be survival. Krause
This is for the lead here, Derek Krause.
nudging Hocevar out of the groove coming out of turn 2. That outside line in 3, though. Ooh, Hocevar got really loose, and Krause follows him right through. Loose as hell,
If you're
too.
Derek Krause here, you can't really run that one lane lower. When you race on pavement, you poke that left front.
I know we don't like stages, but it's almost necessary for NASCAR on dirt so they can treat the racetrack.
Either make Hocevar make a mistake, or you gotta go pull
A dude jumped off Golden Gate and landed on your uncle's fish. Is that like a Mad Lib story you just told me?
Yeah, they're looking to even have a headlight.
By the way, Enfinger's running 4th. It was either going to be Enfinger or Crafton that I bet on. I went with Crafton.
Truck bed area. His truck bed.
Tailgate. It's all bashed in.
Yes, it was bashed in where the yellow.
I don't blame you. Well, see you. Well, depending on what my work schedule is. Do what? Not a goddamn thing. Probably sleeping, but I'll be up at some point. I'll be up eventually.
But we're going to see some probably more trucks get lapped here soon.
Probably before then. I'll let you know.
You know, another one holding her own is Haley Deegan here. She's still in the top 10, as we mentioned earlier. She's looking for that top 10 run
Yeah.
to get things rolling. And
100 laps to go.
Won her heat race, and now she's holding on to the top 10, as we mentioned. Seems like she's keeping up with the racetrack with adjustments, and really has been right there most of the day so far.
Ben Rhodes with his overheating issues.
Chris, that is
earlier.
fucking insane.
Down a lap, shown 28th right now. Battle for second.
Man, just being out on a boat in GTA style, somebody jumps off a bridge and fucking lands on you.
Lap trucks up ahead.
And no surprise that these three.
I thought the SRX race at Knoxville last year sucked. Everybody talks about this track like it's so good. I've only watched 2 races here and they both stunk.
Nice to see that lane they're running in the middle start to shine up a little bit. It's starting to polish off some, so they're going to
Speaking of shining up, they can shine this racetrack up real nice, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up their asses. I don't want to see another race here.
It's so big, that leaves an opportunity, like you see with Todd Gilbert, to shoot the bottom and try to make that diameter shorter, and there's enough grip down there to make that work. You know, it's tough to pass on the bottom when the best group's in the middle, but if it goes to the way to the top, you might be able to make a run down there and get by some of these drivers.
If you do a slide job,
there you go.
Sing it in on the bottom and slide up in front of them on exit.
Flat traffic's going to start playing a factor here as well, Jamie.
Ty Majeski holding his own in 7th right now. Definitely not a dirt guy, so this is one question mark that I have, what we're going to be able to do. But obviously Thor Sport, their setups have been so good. They're so strong when it comes to dirt racing. It's like no matter who gets in that truck, they're going to have a solid setup, and obviously Ty Majeski puts in the work.
Well, and right here, as we mentioned, the group moving up earlier, they had their left sides on the shiny part that you see on TV. And
Achievement Hunter did a GTA 4 video once where they jumped out of helicopters and tried to land on boats.
Already, be interested to see how it changes.
Heather, what are they saying in the 17 pit?
What is it about the Golden Gate Bridge that hypnotizes people into jumping off it? Don't they want to take a jetpack to the top and see the little sign that says there are no Easter eggs here, go away? I haven't even mentioned how Todd Gilliland's running 3rd. Asked a bumper with Derek Krause and Carson Hocevar.
Keep trying that bottom to make something work, but the top is where it's at.
Todd Gilbert to the inside of Derek Krause. Can he make
Woo! What a slide job by Gilliland to get into 2nd. That was nice.
Continues to lead. You won't miss a thing as we go side by side.
Excuse me. Truck Series at Nashville Friday at 8. I don't know if I'll get to stream that or not. I might just be playing online with my friends. Friday night's my night to play online with friends. And I don't know if I'm working next Saturday or not. Hopefully Monday when I go in, she has a fucking schedule posted. Gilliland heating up Hocevar for the lead. But as long as Hocevar can just run that top, I really don't think there's much he can do without the help of track. We got a caution here. Unfortunately. Oh, it's Jessica Friesen. She's up on the curb with a big pole sticking out of the end of her truck. Don't know how they're going to get that truck out of there. That thing is stuck.
This way, and we are under caution for the 4th time, as you saw there. Jessica Friesen in the 62 has herself up on that curb with quite a bit of damage in the front.
Well, what'd she do that for? I'll be right back.
The left
That's
side
what it
of the
looks
truck.
like. I'm not sure it's her bumper bar, but it's a bumper bar.
Unfortunate for Jessica Friesen. Let's check in with Heather.
Yeah, Jamie, right now they're asking her to see if she can try to fire it up, but she's getting upset because they're trying to hook up the tow truck to it, and she doesn't want to do that. They actually told her, don't take your window net down, otherwise that means you're done. But as you can see, the window net's down there, so she was trying to tell them, hey, put it back up, I don't want to be done. They did say, the team, though, however, were trying to assess the damage here, and they said it looked like a radiator mount was broken, but they weren't seeing any fluid leaking from below it, so they said if we can fix it, we will. But as you can see right here, they are hooking up the tow truck to it, and they're not happy about that right now.
Hey Heather, at the top of the show when I introduced you, I said how much dirt experience you have covering dirt, probably more than any of us combined. You work for Dirt Vision, travel around the country. What do you think of the trucks on the dirt?
It's a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure. It's a little bit different than the dirt racing I've been covering this week. I've been covering Summer Nationals, as you mentioned, for Dirt Vision, which is late models and modifieds. We were at Kankakee Speedway, Peoria Speedway. I came from Davenport Speedway straight here to Knoxville, so I've definitely been getting dirty, if you will, this week. But it's a lot of fun. It's different with the trucks, but I really enjoy these drivers trying to figure it out and try to make what works on the dirt in the dirt cars work in these trucks, because it's definitely a challenge for them, but watching them chase the track is also interesting as well.
I don't know how you've even kept it straight all the places you've been this week, but we're certainly happy that you're with us tonight. And want to mention Dirt Vision is home to the Knoxville Nationals, and that's coming up at Knoxville Raceway in August.
What a long, rich history the Knoxville Nationals have here. About like 60 years or something of the Knoxville Nationals.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Tony Stewart was just inducted a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations to him, by the way. And then he made his way out to Sonoma, was in the booth for our Cup Series action last weekend. The granddaddy of them all. How about this? 1878, this track.
One day I'll go to the Knoxville Nationals and be able to appreciate that this racetrack doesn't suck.
First race here was 1901, first motor car race. Here, 1961 was the first Knoxville Nationals.
Won by Roy Robbins.
Steve Kinzer with the most national wins. I grew up.
Well, I know what building in New York City set the single day record for suicides. That's fucked up. I know. I'm going to hell. Don't tell me.
I loved watching these guys growing up.
Good stuff. Well, we're having a great time tonight. 89 laps to go. We'll drop the green once again.
We're very sensitive to real life tragedies on the stream, don't you know? Yeah, it's just the trucks. SRX, like I said, I didn't think SRX was very good here either, so. I really wish Darlington and Martinsville would stop sending me mail. I'm coming back. I'm going to the Southern 500. So I can go to 2 Crown Jewels. I was at the 600. I'll be at the Southern 500. So that's at least 2 of the Crown Jewels now. I'll get to Daytona one of these days. Probably won't go to Daytona next year, except maybe next summer. Because if I'm going to go to the Daytona 500, it's going to be for a whole fucking weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Darlington dirt. Don't you dare. It's already practically a dirt track. It's covered with sand. That's what makes it so slick. Myrtle Beach dirt track. So basically what you're saying is that Knoxville is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway of the sprint car world. So it's a lot like all the boring Brickyard 400s, and now we've got NASCAR having boring races at Knoxville too. Okay. By the way, I think tomorrow Dylan's going to come hang out again, and we're going to stream NASCAR Heat 5. And if anybody wants to get on PlayStation and race with us, feel free, because he and I played together today and it was fun. We hadn't done that in a long time because I didn't have the PlayStation for a while. I didn't have the PlayStation version of the game for a long time, and he sold his PlayStation. So tomorrow you can watch me and him race. Some of the races will be good, some of them will be one-sided.
Carson knows.
He's really competitive, though, at Bristol and the plate. I mean, obviously, anybody can be, but he understands how to be competitive at the plate tracks, and he's good at Bristol. He's good at Dover, too. There's a lot of tracks he's good at. I've played the game way more, so it's almost unfair. I've given him all my setups, though. So we're driving equal setups on the same settings and everything.
How about Brett Moffitt has made his way up into the second row.
Host of our Gilliland,
He's not going to let
Derek
down.
Krause and Brett Moffitt.
He's here for one reason.
Yep, chasing trophies.
Yeah, not chasing any points.
What Carson Hocevar is doing is just, it's amazing. I mean, broken right ankle.
Can he see the air? No, his name's not Dale. Only I can see the air. And that was the difference in me barely beating him earlier today at Daytona and Talladega.
Here we go. Green flag.
Halfway through stage 2, God help us all.
He got the jump on the
It's such a fucking one-lane shit race for the trucks. Unless you just pull the slide job of the century, you're not getting anything done. And Todd Gilliland's going to do it. He's got a shot at it here. Hocevar really backed up that corner entry, and Gilliland got it. 3 wide for second. What the hell's wrong with Hocevar? Hocevar's got a problem. Hocevar's got a problem. He's off the pace. Yep, tire down. Front tire down. Gotta be. Caution's out. Well, there you go. There's how Hocevar lost. Can we stop the stream now? So that's all I was watching for.
Carson Hocevar's mother right there.
Well, she's got to be thinking the same thing as Carson. When is the break going to
Yeah, Michael, I came home from work the day of the Darlington Xfinity race in 2020 during the pandemic. I didn't even get to stream the race, but I got to watch the last part of it and just that amazing battle with Briscoe and Kyle Busch. Racing really got... Anybody else feel like I feel that racing got them through 2020? Because it's all we had. All we had on TV. All we had to keep us busy for most of 2020. Racing got me through that year.
Carson Hocevar.
Gets me through every year, but 2020 for damn sure.
Stomach for Carson here. I think back to even Charlotte a few weeks ago where he's leading the race. Caution comes out late and ends up getting involved in an incident. And now this one, we keep saying it every week. Carson's going to get his win if he just keeps running up front. But he's running up front every week.
Bristol Dirt was one of the best runs we've seen him have. Came up 1 spot short, backed it up the next race at Darlington with his second. He's just endured a lot, and we're all waiting to see when is that first win going to happen.
Hocevar's just getting out of there. That must be something worse than a flat tire, goddammit.
But unfortunately, he's going to have to wait another week to see if he can get to victory lane.
I've been really impressed with Carson. You know, he's
If I don't stream Nashville next week, he'll win. So I might do him a favor and not stream the Nashville truck race.
We talked about adapting at the very beginning of the show. At Sonoma, he was on the pole on a broken ankle. He qualified first and crashed right after that, you know, and then ran the first 10 laps and Suarez jumped in. Then we come to a dirt track. He's fastest in practice, gets to start up front, leads every lap. You know, he's just become versatile at a very young age. I mean, he's still super young to be doing what he's doing.
My job didn't change much in 2020 because we work by ourselves.
So many places we raced at last year he'd never been to before because he wasn't old enough.
And this is that
I had a few months off in 2020. I do remember that.
Charlotte, he was battling
Late summer of 2020, like going into football season, we started back.
That ends his night. But before this, he had been checked out leading the race. We thought for sure this was going to be the night he got the win. Caution comes out, as I said. Then the air gets him loose, runs up into Priest, and he's done.
Insult to injury, the veteran driver was not too happy with him, and Ryan Priest, and he learned a couple things from that, as he said. Moving on.
Football coming back in September of 2020 was bizarre because of the no crowd deal.
He was there, but they didn't have his crutches, so they're pushing him back.
And Tyler
to his
Carpenter
box, but Tyler
going to the garage, to the pits.
Yeah, an issue
He
with
had to
the
get
40
pushed in by a truck.
Transmission or a drive shaft went down for him there, so a tough break for.
Well, good news with Hocevar out, it makes it more likely for Crafton to win me money, even though I'm pretty sure he won't.
No doubt. I know we were looking forward to seeing what Tyler Carpenter could do in his debut in the Truck Series. Great opportunity for him. Hats off to Al Neese for making it happen. Costly lap there for this team.
You almost hear something dragging underneath the truck there.
Maybe a drive shaft. Sounds like a drive
for
shaft.
Sure.
I like how the mud flaps were a good idea, but the kind of mud flaps they put on the trucks and cup cars this year for dirt races don't do shit to help with the visibility problem.
Yeah. He's having a good night, right?
Yeah, just broken hearted. Just broken hearted. Feel for him.
when you hear these drivers say they've waited their whole life to have this opportunity.
You know, it's been a while since we've seen a regular, a Truck Series regular win a race. It's been 3-4 weeks of these races in a row where Kyle Busch, Corey Heim, some of these guys stepping in to win. I'm sure that Brett Moffitt would like to add to that list, but these regulars want to put an end to that. They want to claim their stake here. Hocevar was doing a great job.
I worked a job once that kept getting OSHA called on them, and I know it because I was one of the ones that called OSHA one time. Because I wanted to get the place shut down and go home and get paid. Because they had to pay us. We had like a 3 or 4 week period where we got sent home and paid to sit at home. And I wanted to do that again, so I kept calling OSHA on them.
When am I going to catch a break?
They deserved it. They were douchebags.
These nights are harder than the nights where you just run 10th, right, Phil? If you just run 10th all day, it's like, man, we weren't in the game. Like, it's frustrating. We got to figure it out. But when you're leading and something breaks,
yeah, they don't blow up when you're running bad.
you can't ask them to blow up.
They can't put you out of your misery. They just won't do it.
Carson Hocevar led 65 laps tonight.
We saw that playoff bubble, right below the playoff bubble, Derek Krause.
I really don't feel like watching the rest of this race, but we're here.
Last year here, but he's surrounded by some really talented drivers. You got Todd Gilbert up there on the outside. Todd's actually leading this race. See, there's Derek Krause, and then he's got Brett Moffitt and John Hunter Nemechek in row 2.
Zane Smith creeping into the picture.
If only my internet would conveniently cut off. Don't give me any ideas. Damn, I could have just unplugged it and said it went off.
Green flag for Todd Gilliland.
Man, there's like nobody at this race. That's hilarious. John Hunter Nemechek into second. Got that outside line. You're in good shape.
Way back up into the top 10. See him on the outside of the 22 of Moffitt right there.
Had that cut tire earlier, that flat tire, you had to bring it back down. Had a broken camera, but now it's back. Everybody's good. They pitted. Our pit crew went to work, giving us great shots on board.
Moffitt about giving him another cut tire.
Should have bet on Zane Smith. He's third now.
You mentioned Zane Smith.
Haley Deegan still top 10.
We haven't talked about him tonight. He is that guy. I
Need to plug up my PlayStation controller.
If he's not already starting in the top 5, he patiently waits and pushes and gets him there. He's kind of like the closer lately. I feel like the last stage of the race. Here's Zane Smith.
Because right now it's been a huge advantage to restart on the outside. Because the outside line goes, the inside line struggles a little bit.
Well, let's hear from Carson Hocevar. Here's Josh.
Yeah, another disappointing outing for the 42 of Carson Hocevar. What happened out there, and how do you come to terms with this? Things just seem to keep happening, unfortunately.
Hocevar's the Tyler Reddick of the Truck Series. You're right. And she done blowed up, as he said. That's my favorite old racing catchphrase.
It's going to be the hardest one to watch, and now this one's going to be hard to watch. I'll probably just sit and think about it for a while, but, I mean, we have spec motors, and if you have a bad one, you have a bad one. You don't know. You can't really test it. We don't got a lot of time to shine on, so this sucks. It's one of the areas we can't control. We can't do anything. So, these guys did all they could. They built me a fast race truck. I mean, we were kicking everybody's butt for a while, and then we kind of made a little bit of bad adjustment that everybody kind of really got back to us. That it was going to be a fun race, but we're still in the ballpark for sure, because 17 got pretty good there, but just spitting. This would be our luck. Thanks, Carson.
Thanks, Josh. And the tough thing about this racetrack now, there's no way out. He's stuck infield for the whole race, and he said...
They can't let him out at the end of stage 2, for fuck's sakes. Because much like me, he probably doesn't want to sit here and watch the rest of this.
It's so frustrating to be in that spot, but he's got to go home and say, I did everything I could do to be in the best spot I could be in. There's nothing I can do about it. He's got to believe kind of what he was saying. There's nothing we can do there. But while we were talking to him, we saw the 38 get by John Hunter for second place. John Hunter went to the bottom to try to defend, and the 38 worked the top. And then now we're looking at Stuart Friesen up ahead here in this in-car, and he's coming through the field. You mentioned him a second ago. He's up to 5th already. He's got one of the best trucks in the field.
He does. Have you seen some of these trucks lift the left front tire up off the ground?
Well, we talked about Stuart Friesen, how they changed their setup, their mentality coming here. He told me it was in the front end. They just
Gilliland has almost a 3-second lead.
For he and his wife, Jessica Friesen,
And the Friesens are running together, although Jessica's 15 laps down.
But it's obviously working. The truck is good. He's had his issues, and he's been able to fight back as the 19 and Derek Kraus working the wheel. That's a battle for 5th right there.
Grant Enfinger, he's trying to get below Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus was on the bottom of the racetrack.
That was a perfect picture right there of a pavement racer and a dirt racer. You got Stuart Friesen sideways to the corner, and then there's Grant Enfinger on the bottom, as straight as he's at Martinsville, running right around the bottom, and they're running 5th and 6th. So there's a lot of different approaches here, but to me, Friesen's attitude of his truck looks the most like a dirt car. As we mentioned, he's trying to get it to have that attitude. Pretty loose, though. I don't know if that right rear is going to take that much abuse.
These guys just make it look so much
Yeah,
fun.
Friesen's the real deal on dirt.
Dirt school and learn how to do this. I mean, I'm sure they have them around the country, right? I would love to drive something on dirt just to get that feel.
Lol, those empty seats.
But never done 4 wheels on dirt.
Either there's a lot of empty seats or a lot of people dressed as tinfoil in those stands.
Really has it hung out. Brett Moffitt, who's running in the 4th spot, looked a lot the same way.
Guys, Kaz Gralla in the 0-2 up to 8.
Yeah, Kaz Grala's 8th. I wasn't really paying attention, so I didn't notice that.
Stocking in the top 10 when it comes to dirt racing.
Oh my God, how is Friesen not spinning out getting that sideways?
That was too much.
He's running 5th.
That was too much.
Still stayed in front of Derek Kraus, but that was way too sideways.
Derek Kraus was giving him quite a bit of pressure there. I almost
Yeah, Friesen's a good bet on dirt, and unfortunately the odds makers know it.
little guy.
Great battle for 5th right here as the 19 gets around the 52 is Stuart Friesen. Grant Enfinger just wait. Come on, you guys keep battling it out. I'll figure my way out. Get around you.
I think maybe Stewart's truck's hung out a little bit more than he wants. Looks like maybe a little bit 3.
I think it probably worked good for the short run, which helped him get all this track position back, but I'm pretty sure from what I'm seeing, they're going to tighten that thing up a little bit to make that right rear last longer. Yeah, this is a shot of how sideways he got with Derek Kraus on his left rear. Yes.
If the driver behind you can see your full number, you're probably a little too sideways, right?
It might not be 45 degrees, but it's about 40 degrees sideways.
Gilliland 4.5 seconds ahead of Zane Smith.
Back to the bottom. It's like, yeah, that was on purpose.
It's impressive. I'll tell you, though, the one thing I noticed about the Ford John Hunter Nemechek, he's the straightest truck. I haven't seen him pitched at all, except for right there.
Right as she says that, John Hunter got sideways.
Remember, a little bit longer stage here. This last stage was 50 laps. The first stage was 40 laps. With just 4 laps to go in this stage.
And the fastest driver on the track that last lap was Zane Smith in 2nd. He's trying to run down Todd Gilbert, and right now he's
Not having a lot of success running down Todd Gilbert.
some lap traffic though.
Just like I'm not having a lot of success staying awake.
I'm really impressed by Zane. I mean, we talked about it earlier, being the closer, but
I keep forgetting I'm off tomorrow. It's Sunday, and I usually work Sunday mornings, but I'm off tomorrow. So it feels weird not working tomorrow, but I'm happy about
he's
it.
doing that again right now, just taking care of that truck.
Well, Friesen's having trouble right here at the end of the stage, just like he did the first stage. He lost a couple spots to Enfinger and Kaz Gralla. A lot of traffic for our leader, Todd Gilliland, with 2 laps to go in this
Gilliland
stage.
running over the back of the 45. What the hell you doing, Gilliland?
Held up, and there he goes.
45 was holding up the leader.
2-second lead over Zane Smith, so he should be
1 to go, stage 2.
easily get to this.
Can it just rain now and end this fucking race?
Zane Smith told me at Bristol Dirt, he said, I'm as lost as an Easter egg out here. I don't know what I'm doing. And then he finished 10th. So
As
here
lost
he
as an Easter egg. That's funny.
is, about to finish 2nd in stage number 2.
I knew I liked Zane Smith.
Final
One of the
lap
other bright spots in the truck series I have a lot of respect for and hold in high regard, Zane Smith.
takes the win.
Todd Gilliland, however, is not one of them, but he won stage 2. Good for him. He still sucks.
Kraus, the top 5.
That's got to be the coolest stage win for David Gilliland, to see his son go out and win the stage. And I talked with David.
Probably me and Dylan playing NASCAR Heat 5 online together tomorrow will be a stream. That'll probably be a stream. Sometime in the afternoon or late afternoon. I work Monday morning, but I got all day tomorrow to do whatever I want. Just like I have all night tonight to sleep, and I can't wait to go do that
We
later.
saw Ryan Priest do that in this very same truck last year at Nashville. Been in the Cup Series for about 3 years.
Boy.
really helpful for the whole organization when you can plug someone in like Todd or Ryan and help Tanner Gray, help Haley Deegan to see what the equipment's doing, give some feedback, and kind of guide the whole program. Because if you look at Tanner, I mean, he drove funny cars, and Haley came from kind of more of an off-road background to K&N. So it's good as a litmus test to have a driver like Todd in tonight to give them a starting point.
Haley Deegan had a shitty stage too. She went from running 10th. She finished 16th there.
Truck he drove last year, so really good finish.
Just keep the fucking wheel straight and hopefully be able to finish a race without getting taken out. Yeah, I know Gillen won COTA last year, but then again, Brandon Jones has a handful of Xfinity wins now, so and everybody looks like a stud in ARCA. So fucking tired. So apparently Jessica Friesen's truck flipped over a little while ago and landed on 4 tires, and we never saw it. I just saw a fucking video of it on my phone from somebody at the race. Jessica Friesen flipped over and landed on 4 wheels. That's how she's still able to race. But she fucking flipped. Yep. Jessica Friesen flipped. Oh, God. Caitlin Vincey. Jesus Christ. How's that woman so hot and allowed to be on television? Just an observation. I was just scrolling Twitter. Somebody posted a picture of what she looked like earlier in the pre-race. That's not right. Yeah, Jessica Friesen flipped, and you don't get to see it because Fox fucking blows. I didn't find out until 20 minutes later that she actually flipped over but landed on 4 wheels.
So we welcome you back to the Clean Harbors 150.
Hit the cushion, and I don't mean Caitlin Vincey.
They're enjoying what they're seeing so far.
How about you, Jamie? Your first truck race. Are you enjoying what you're seeing?
I am, but I'm in great.
Boy, Trevor Bain's voice is fucking annoying.
Enjoying it.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Or in the driver's seat.
Yeah, Trevor Bain has a little bit of a Kermit the Frog thing going on. Yeah, he won Daytona 500. Thought they were going to commercial again. They started playing the shitty music.
Zane Smith,
I guess they're not.
Good points night for them. And that is a good thing about stage racing, and you get those points. Carson Hocevar's out, but it's not for nothing. He gets some points to take with him.
Don't tell him that right now.
He's stuck in field, watching up in the hauler.
Brett Moffitt trying to clean the inside of his windshield as we take a look at our leader.
All right, pit stops underway. Here's Heather.
And for Todd Gilbert there, he said that he's just a little bit tight, so he wants some more of this.
Yeah, it's on the ship posting group, a video of Jessica Friesen flipping over.
A track bar adjustment. He also mentioned that it seems to pop in the left front really bad. It almost feels like something with the shock is wrong, so they're going to check that out as well while he is in. Josh?
Let's move to the 19 of Derek Kraus. Very strong in stage number 1. Love the balance of that truck. As the night has gone on, he's started to have a little more issue. He says he just doesn't have grip when they fire off, so they're going to make an adjustment. They also considered making a track bar adjustment, but then on the radio, they're like, well, let's see how they prep the track. They got about 10 minutes to do that, so they're going to watch how they prep the track before they decide if they're going to make any.
How do you miss a vehicle flipping over?
He's got the Swiffer wiping off the front windshield as well, Heather.
And you mentioned in the booth that Zane Smith feels like a little bit of a fish out of waters.
I think they should do like stage points for the top 5 in qualifying. You qualify on the pole, you get 5 points, second place 4th, third place 3rd, and so on. Make qualifying mean a little more. Just a few points, you know, for bringing a fast car. I wouldn't do 10. I'd do 5 points and just do the top 5
Use the throttle to make
from
that
qualifying.
happen, so that's something he's working on. He also reported that the exit off of 4 is completely slicked off, so Chris Lodge
Kind of be more of an encompassing thing. The fucking qualifying, the stages, the race, it all combines together. If you just have a flat-out dominant weekend, win the pole, win the stages, win the race.
He's just been too tight. They're going to make some adjustments to try and free him up and help him out. But
You fall down the rabbit hole of adding points and tweaking formats, you wind up like NASCAR actually is currently.
As you guys mentioned up top, only 3
It's 11 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and this race still has fucking 60 laps. Ugh. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I don't want to be conscious right now. I don't want to be conscious anymore.
Much, but he made his way up into the top 10. 9th shown on the board right now, but just too tight. So they wanted a little adjustment. As we take a look
Credit
at
to Jessica Friesen. She pulled the Dale Earnhardt. She flipped over and then kept going.
One of those. We talked about it.
Yeah, I think he's going to inherit the lead. Obviously, if you stay on the race,
Brett Moffitt's going to be the leader. Stayed out.
Came down pit road.
And Fingers second.
Pit road will keep that same order as they came down pit road, but they will restart behind all the trucks that stayed on the racetrack.
Well, actually, when Clint flipped that 15 car in the dual race at Daytona, he flipped over and kept going, but it did damage the car. He had to go to a backup because he landed so hard it broke a bunch of shit. But yeah, I remember Boyer doing that beautiful flip and landing, and then I think he made it to start finish. I can't remember. I know it was tore up and he had to go to a backup though.
They can't put him on. They can't put him on later in the race. You can only change tires during the stage.
Well, at this point, I'm getting tires, Phil. At any point here that I can take tires, just because you saw what happened to Stuart Friesen. At the end of that stage, he drove through there like a madman. And
I'm sitting here talking about how I want to go to bed, but I'm charging my PS5 controller in case I want to play Evil Dead after this.
Like what they saw, the tires, the first time they took them off, they're going to leave them for the rest of the race. Heather, one of the guys who stayed out, what are they saying?
Well, Grant Enfinger, when I talked to him earlier, he said that track position will be just as important as last year. Another thing teams have said is these tires are a lot harder than the tires that they had last year, so the fall off is not as bad. So the 23 team
they missed the one pass during the race at Mont. That's funny.
For this restart, but he also said that he was concerned that starting the race a little.
So you guys remember how I went to the Xfinity race at Charlotte, the one that Josh Berry won, had that great battle with Allgaier. I didn't know till the other day. I watched Twisted Toe's reaction to the Xfinity race at Charlotte that the whole time Allgaier and Berry are trading the lead back and forth coming out of the fucking green flag pit stops at the end. Fox was showing anything and everything except Allgaier and Josh Berry, who were going to be battling for the lead because they were going to cycle through the front. They were showing Trevor Bayne coming down pit road, serving his penalty, and Joe Logano's like, hey, Allgaier and Josh Berry trading position up here. This is awesome racing. And then they just don't show it. And then finally, I think Kevin Harvick like yells at him. I'm like, dude, thank God I was at that race or I wouldn't have never fucking seen that awesome battle. Regan Smith flipping his car over and kept going. I don't remember that one. Where did that happen? God, dude, Fox is so fucking stupid. They won't show the battle for the lead because they're too busy showing guys on pit road. It's like, dude, we get it. Cars go slow. Then they're like zooming in on Trevor Bayne coming down pit road. Fox was good up until about 2015-ish. It really started to go downhill. But in the last couple of years, it just took a nosedive and hit the ground hard. They've been so bad. NBC's not perfect, but Fox makes NBC look so much better. Daytona 2015. What the fuck? Is that an Xfinity race? I can't fucking remember. God, that's 7 years ago. Usually I remember shit, but I don't even fucking remember. I remember Michael Annett shattering his sternum at Daytona in an Xfinity race around that time. 2013, 14, or 15, whatever it was. I remember my big introduction to Kyle Larson was him being, like, ripped in half in the catch fence in that Xfinity race. Yeah, how do you miss a flip? Look at my PlayStation friends list, see if anybody's already online. God, I just want to go to bed. I just want to lay down and relax. I doubt I play anything later. The way I feel right now, I just don't see how I'm going to play anything later. I don't work a tough job, but in the hours I'm there, I do move around and pretty steady and don't really take breaks, and it catches up with me, and I spend the rest of the day really tired. None of my Evil Dead friends are playing it yet. Honestly, if I go to lay down and nobody's playing Evil Dead yet, then I won't even be tempted to play. So, I will ask again. I know I ask this every stream now. Who here has NASCAR Heat 5 on PlayStation? If you want to be in the stream tomorrow and you have it on PlayStation, add me. You can play with me and Dylan, and we'll race online together, and it'll be fun. Like, I take a 30-minute break. When I work longer than 6 hours, I get a 30-minute break. If I work like 6 hours or less, I just take like a 15-minute break. But other than that, if I'm stocking, I'm on the move. And it doesn't really feel like a lot, but at the end of the day, that shit just catches up with you. Especially if you woke up early in the morning like I did.
Won stage number 2. Carson Hocevar took home stage win number 1.
21 trucks still on the lead last. We've got 7 cautions so far.
That was our Blue Emu race summary. What do you think? Should we dial him up? Should we dial up Todd Gilbert?
Yeah, let's talk to our stage winner. There he is right there. Hey, Todd Gillen, Phil, Jamie, and Trevor up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
He sure doesn't have a copy. Can we get this race going and get it over with?
Try him one more time. Hey, Todd, Phil Parsons up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
I feel like you're striking out today.
100%. Trevor, you try it next time.
You got a secret button over here I can press somewhere?
Hey, to your credit, Phil, you did try and break. And
we made contact with him and
Todd was having a talk.
Yeah. Oh, well.
He's stopping. Jamie, you might have the magic touch on the radio button.
Hey,
I'll try that. All right, Phil, if this works. All right, if this works, let's see. Hey, Todd, it's Trevor Bain in the Fox booth. You got a copy on us up here?
10-4, Trevor.
Nope, was it you, Phil?
I'd be like, can I talk to Caitlin Vinci instead of you guys?
So we have to note that they are continuing.
You guys work for Fox. Do you have Joy Taylor on speed dial? I'd much rather talk to Joy Taylor. Blue Emu. Dale Jr. Yeah, Dale Jr. doesn't know how to say emu. Blue Emu.
Stop.
I hate that I missed that Martinsville race last fall when I was on the cruise, because I never went back and watched the broadcast. I watched like the extended race highlights that were like 20 or 30 minutes long, so I didn't get to hear all of Junior's weird moments as the lead analyst. Blue Emu.
He looks like if the dirt ball's up in your hand like this, it's tacky. You can also see it's nice and dark, so it's holding the moisture. That's what you want on the racetrack. That will give you a lot of grip. So when you see on the outer groove and inner groove where the berm is, you're going to see that dark moisture. Now, if it starts to get dry, that's when the dirt will crumble in your hands. Now, this is a lot harder because it's been sitting here for a while, but this would be kind of the top line. It's similar to marble, so when they get up there and they say the track is dirty on the top, That's what it looks like. Now, in the middle of the track, you can tell that it's slicked off because it's shiny. You can see that the light on it is really shiny. That's going to be slippery, and that's why not a lot of trucks have been running that middle line. So they're searching for that tacky moisture on the bottom next to the berm because that's where it's darker, and of course up on the top they have a little bit of a cushion going there, not as much as you would normally see here with sprint cars. Normally you can lean on the cushion with a sprint car, but these trucks are a little bit different, so they definitely don't want to get
Giant ass spoilers, slide job, and blue emu. The trifecta of Dale Jr. Booth soundbots.
The dirt lingo. We got the best woman on the job.
The commitment level there. Did you see how dirty she was willing to get?
Somebody take Trevor Bain's microphone away.
That's what we do as pit reporters.
That's right, baby. You trained her well. She hangs out with you sometimes when you're on pit road, right?
She's my pit spotter, actually. She's the woman behind the scenes helping me get all the stories and information. It doesn't matter if I'm covering trucks, Xfinity, or Cup. She is there. So she's worked very hard for this opportunity tonight. It's showing.
That was an outstanding report, too, by the way.
You can see here kind of what she was talking about.
Who gives a shit?
To look at the track. We've got all kinds of farm tools going on. We got a harrow tilling it up a little bit, a packer, got some grass growing in it. But
is Kenny Chesney driving that thing?
On the shiny part, you can see some of those crumbs or marbles laying in the middle.
Oh,
and what happens, the other reason that the middle gets so slick is because when you're running the bottom, you kick that up off the bottom onto the slick part, and it's kind of double-edged sword there. You've got it slicked off already, and you're getting junk thrown up on it. So that's why when we talked about earlier, you've got to pick a polarized option. You got to go all the way to the top or the bottom. But you can see this will get run in some, but it's so easy to tell for us in the race car or race truck. It's more difficult than you think. You know, you get sucked into racing somebody, and as we talked about earlier with Derek Krause, where he tried to poke the left front headlight out like your instinct would tell you to do, you really got to tell yourself, just go all the way to the bottom, try to make the pass, and that's what makes the slide job so effective on dirt racing. You got to go all the way to the bottom and slide up. Heather, you got some more information for us down there?
Yeah, I do. I figured since we're talking about this racetrack in particular, they actually bring in the dirt to Knoxville every year. Sometimes it's 200 to 300 truckloads of this dirt. Now, some people might call it river bottom gumbo. The scientific term for it is Zook soil, so that's that black Iowa clay. And you wonder, okay, well, if they brought 400 trucks of dirt in here, where's the extra dirt? It's in the berm. That's where they pull from when they need to add dirt to the track until they go and get some more. But they find it anywhere in the state of Iowa. A lot of other states as well have that Zook dirt. But this dirt, I believe, came from one of the guys that works here at Knoxville Raceway, his family farm. So the river in his family's farm is where this dirt comes from. And I thought that was pretty interesting that that's why that berm is there, because it's the extra.
This is taking way too long. You see my fucking frustration here?
When I went to that track, is that berm and how
the race isn't even that good anyway. And we're sitting here jerking off as the trucks look like they're racing on a giant Oreo cookie.
After they originally ran dirt way back in the day with some open wheel
on a
stuff,
track they shouldn't be on. I'm so bored.
Cars and the trucks back there.
Well, I can tell this wasn't just racetrack topsoil at this point. It's so dark. I've got a garden at home, Phil. This stuff would work perfect. Grow anything I want to.
We could grow something overnight.
You could. Looks fertile.
If we were racing in Atlanta, it'd be that red clay. Talk about a
That's
mess.
what we've got.
Oh, what are you talking about? This is totally natural and doesn't just cut the balls off of any momentum or energy this race had. I'm sure not everybody in the grandstand's totally falling asleep.
Cup Series is off. Xfinity is off this weekend.
Oh, wait, there's nobody there anyway. Take as long as you want.
It is their big night.
Really curious to see how the 5 trucks that stayed out, how they do compared to these guys with the fresher tires. They talked about the harder tire and the fact that the lap times were not falling off as much. Everybody said coming here, track position is going to be key. It was last year, but it was different last year. The track position, you had to be on the bottom last year. Now you have to be on the top of the racetrack. That's where the track position is.
And you mentioned those that stayed out: Brett Moffitt, Grant Enfinger, Kaz Gralla, and Buddy Kofoid. Running 4th, riding aboard with him here. Is he running 4th at Bristol when this happened?
Racing with the 99 at Pit Roads, our eventual winner.
That was the day I started my job, the Bristol Dirt Race, the truck Bristol Dirt Race. Blue Emu!
Off the truck and he's gone.
No contact there.
And then Derek Krause comes in and destroys him. Forgot about that.
So yes, he's found himself in the top 5 just like he was at Bristol. It's going to be interesting. To your point about staying out on these old tires, will it work?
I could eat my words, but if I could be in fifth with new tires, I'd take that all day, every day. And this is going to be the longest run we've seen yet, with 60 laps to go. We saw 50 there. Again, I point to Stuart Friesen. That's the first truck I've seen give up a little bit on tires. So
I'm so
if
bored.
I was 15th on new tires, maybe you're in jeopardy, but 5th on tires, I'm taking that.
I think they're coming to the green. Yeah, they're coming to the green. Moffitt and Enfinger stayed out.
Are dirty.
The person that's really happy.
My leaderboard hasn't updated yet.
That's
Don't really care if it does.
Right now, from what we've seen on this race
I'm barely
so far.
paying attention right now.
We had 80 caution laps last year. We've only had 26 so far this year.
Going green this time by.
All right, Brett Moffitt. Back in the Truck Series, and the 22 chose the outside. Grant Enfinger, the 23 on the inside.
Not a great start by Buddy Kofoid. Really jammed up.
Well, Moffitt took off.
Third on this start, but
I think tires will mean a lot here after about 5 or 10 laps. But Moffitt's got a big lead for now. Gilliland's going 3 wide. We know he's got fresh tires. He's on the very bottom, though, so that's tough.
Brett Moffitt, see you later, guys. Checking out. And then you've got this just behind him.
I never knew 58 laps could feel so long and hopeless.
See is, Kofoid and some of these other trucks on old tires. Enfinger hold up Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith, and they're doing a great job of that right now.
Zane Smith on the outside, Gilliland on the bottom. Ooh, John Hunter washing up the track. I thought he was going to take out Casgarala. Gilliland got loose in the middle of the front stretch. Had to check up Zane Smith and Derek Krause.
Well, you got to get it while it's there. That moisture won't be there long, so they thought Gilliland's restarts try to take advantage of it.
I feel like these two cannot shake each other. The 19 of Derek Krause, Stuart Friesen, so much we've seen that 19 thanks to this onboard camera. These two come together.
Why's the NASCAR official got the black flag in his hand?
News, the 22 black
Oh, Brett Moffitt, black flag, jumping the restart. That's why the flagman had the black flag balled up in his hand. I was like, oh, he's going to wave that at. Oh, it's Moffitt. And yeah, he did jump.
It was the controlled truck, so it was his option to go. They must have felt like he went before the restart.
Damn.
I really think what hurt him is Buddy spinning the
Tough
tires.
scene.
I don't know if I
look a lot
I don't know
worse
if
than
I'm
it
allowed to
was.
say that, but I don't know if I totally agree. It looked
There's
like
the
he
black
was
flag
close
for
to the line, but
Moffitt.
when someone spins
Well,
the
his
tires
race is
behind you,
effectively
it just
over.
amplifies that completely.
It's like perception is everything,
For
and
sure.
that did not help him there. Heather?
Restart rules are never consistent.
What happened there? I don't understand. And they're saying that we went before the restart zone, and he said, no way. There's absolutely no way. And they said, it doesn't look like you jumped into us, but not our call.
Ooh, that's a tough break.
That sucks balls.
You can't argue it. There's nothing you can do, and so that's rough.
You see the penalty there going back in.
We know that NASCAR can't officiate the Truck Series. They've shown that time and time again this year. Enfinger inherits the lead. Gilliland second.
Gilliland behind him, and Zane Smith slinging it on the bottom side.
Zane Smith behind him. They're both the best trucks on the best tires.
Stuart Friesen.
Oh, man, they're showing us the black flag. You jumped the restart.
He just looks so fast, and it's so fun watching him hang it out like that.
And John Hunter's just running this short track.
Yep.
Dreams down there on the bottom.
Just keeping it straight. Keep it pointed.
That upper lane's getting some ruts, though. You can see there's trucks bouncing. You see riding along with Stuart Friesen, you see how that truck is porpoising back and forth.
Porpoising. We just had the word porpoising used unironically on a NASCAR broadcast. You go, Phil Parsons.
Missed the bottom. Missed the bottom.
Almost distracts me from how annoying Trevor Bain's voice is. He's as annoying with a microphone in his hand as he was behind the wheel. Yeah, they got a shit safety crew. They can't officiate this series. The series is like barely a step above ARCA now, which is why I don't enjoy it very much anymore.
Crawl up it, but you want to be right next to it. Zane Smith as well there in the 38. You see Stewart got his right rear hung up in the slicker part of the racetrack.
Even the Daytona truck race wasn't good this year. Krause and Friesen back and forth. Trying to find something interesting here. Gilliland is on the back bumper of Enfinger for the lead, but you're not seeing it. And there, now you're seeing it. Here's Gilliland at 49 to go to the inside of Enfinger with his much fresher tires. And clears him down the back.
Todd Gilliland back to the lead.
Might have been those new tires you were talking about, Trevor.
I don't know, did you retrieve Trevor?
No, that's Driver. That was Driver Trevor, the one in four tires.
Yeah, Driver did.
What would you have said there? No, I don't want to stay out. I want to come in. Or would you?
I don't think it would have been. I think the ones that stayed out were probably the drivers asking to stay out. I would think that most crew chiefs would say, let's put tires on this thing. And I mean, it's always a group discussion in those times. And the bad news is they had 10 minutes to sit there and think about the bet that they had made. They were about to leave. The bottom is really starting to come to life. And this is dirt racing. You think you got it figured out, you think you know where you want to run, and just like that, it changes, and you got to adapt.
John Hunter Nemechek to second. Todd Gilliland continues.
Of course, there can't be a truck race without a KBM truck being involved.
Miss a thing as we go
John Hunter's got speed comparable to Gilliland right now, I think. They're both running the bottom, oddly enough. They've run the moisture out of the top, and they're looking to see if there's anything in the bottom before they eventually just go back to the top, I figure. Once again, I'm so uncomfortable with dirt racing. I know jack shit about it. But at least I could admit that. Unlike other NASCAR YouTubers who won't admit when they don't know shit about something. Won't name any names. I know I made fun of Moffitt for his dumb takes on Suarez in the past, but I like Moffitt as a driver, and that really sucked to see that penalty happen. Because it made this race get boring way quicker than it would have. Because Gilliland and Nemechek would have to run him down. They would run him down, but it would be something to watch. We need a dirt track with banking that's not Bristol. I think stock cars need banking. They work better with a little banking on every discipline. Dirt, asphalt, whatever. God, it sucks that NASCAR stuck with Phoenix as their championship race. Oh, they spent money on new grandstands. Give them the championship race. Why does Phoenix have 2 races a year?
Welcome back to Knoxville.
I like Phoenix, but I don't think it needs 2 races a year. Replace the spring Phoenix race with Chicagoland.
Todd Gilliland back in the front. John Hunter Nemechek.
Well, with Chicago, you really don't know what you got till it's gone.
Round out the top 5.
My bet, Matt Crafton is doing a whole lot of nothing in 11th place.
I think we're markedly better than last year.
Better than last year, but somehow still shit, Phil Parsons. 40 to go.
For the top side of the racetrack. Now, the
Been green for a while, thank
Trevor
God.
was talking during the break that he thinks the bottom will slick off here in another few laps, and maybe they'll move back up the racetrack.
Obviously learning from the first time we went here a year ago, taking that extra time at stage breaks to work in that track and the track prep that Heather had talked about.
We haven't talked about
They got so lucky with the Cup race on Bristol Dirt with all the rain throughout the race, kept the track nice and wet, kept it from getting too dusty. Goddamn, Kraus just came down and thought Eckes was going to end up on the curb, but he just drove through Kraus.
The result was nice. The result is the fact that he's got that spot.
That's right.
But Christian Eckes doing a nice job here. Again, not a dirt racer as well by trade. Josh, what's going on with Christian Eckes in the night?
I thought dirt tracks weren't good if they had rubber down, though. I thought it was a bad thing if a dirt track got rubbered up a little too much.
What to expect? I'm not a dirt guy. I don't do this a lot, so your guess is as good as mine.
We can make Texas the world's largest motocross track if we bulldoze the fucking thing.
That last stop, they gave him what they called some Hail Mary adjustments.
And we have a battle for lead. Boy, Nemechek there using the bumper on Gillen. The speed is on the bottom now, and they're hugging that thing. And Nemechek tried to root him up off the bottom.
John Hunter Nemechek coming on strong in the 4.
Now he goes back to the middle, the outside. Ooh, truck didn't like that. And we got a caution. I don't know what it's for.
Is out for the 7th time.
Ah.
Is that Matt DiBenedetto?
No, it's the 46, dumbass.
46 and Bryson Mitchell.
Bryson Mitchell stopped on the front stretch.
Dirty on a dirt track. But you can see the shine starting to go away.
Yes.
They're getting those crumbs up from the bottom where the bottom's becoming dominant. The groove's really starting to change. And John Hunter, I mean, he's driven this thing like a pavement line all day, and it's starting to pay off a little bit.
46.
Yeah, I'd say this whole running around the bottom favors John Hunter
Races great dirt late
and the
models
asphalt
at
guys in general.
Talladega Short track across the street.
I race against Red Farmer.
Probably does.
Raced against Red Farmer there once.
Nobody cares, Trevor Bain.
And for you NHRA fans, they will be following us right here on FS1.
Oh, God, I'd rather
in
be
its
watching
entirety.
drag racing right now.
Thunder Valley.
And don't give me that you can't stay up late. If you're a race fan, it's Saturday night. Just get comfy. Of course, they're racing at Bristol. John Hunter Nemechek coming on strong, Heather.
Absolutely. They were telling him the last few laps there that he needs to just make it live. He's catching these guys, and sure enough, he was right on the tail of the 17.
Yeah, that was going to be a hell of a battle before that caution. We'll have to see what happens
You're
now.
going to get some help here from lap traffic. But when I talked to John Hunter earlier and yesterday, we talked about how much he's been running dirt at Millbridge in North Carolina. He said he feels much more comfortable this year compared to last year because now he has a better idea of what happens and the differences between dirt and asphalt, like the driving techniques, when to be on the throttle, how to approach the corner, what to do different to make speed on the dirt. At times it translates, but sometimes it doesn't in these trucks. But right now he's moved to that bottom line, and he sure is making it work.
He sure is making it work. Well, Ben Rhodes is one that we watched coming in, and he had his issues early with overheating. He is the free pass now, so he will be on the lead lap, shown in the 23rd spot.
He's been trying a long time to get that lap back.
Yes, he has.
83 laps he spent, 1 lap down.
They want to give a happy birthday shout out to Duke Thorson.
Absolutely.
Yes. His daughter Allison wished him a happy birthday online today. Great family. Beautiful race, or show horses, I should say, and they've got some nice horsepower tonight.
And right here, Ben Rose is going to be the free pass. He's been fighting back since he got dirt on the grill early on. He's going to be trying to fight back, like you were just saying about him getting that wave around or free pass. I mean, this is something that he said he's been thinking about since Daytona, trying to keep this points battle alive. And to me, this is what you have to have happen in this race. You get down early, and it's frustrating. And they've just fought hard. A few cautions have gone by where they didn't get the free pass, but now you're back in this thing as if nothing ever happened. He's going to be back there on track position. I mean, he's going to be 23rd, but...
You know who's not back in this thing? Brett Moffitt.
Never give up. Got to keep working. Look at all the damage on the truck bed there. Well, we will go back to racing. It's 33 laps to go from Knoxville.
Ladies and gentlemen, settle in for 30 of the longest goddamn laps of your life. We could be here till tomorrow, if last year was any indication. And unfortunately, Derek Kraus is still running, and he's in the top 10. And Friesen is too, so who knows? Hey, look, it's Clint Boyer. Searches Google history. What's the best method for getting meth head blood stains off the right front of your car? Michael, I've been ready to fall asleep since SRX. I had fun watching SRX. That was a better race than I thought it would be. I didn't have high expectations for SRX because some of the dirt races last year I didn't enjoy with SRX, but the other races, for the most part, were pretty good. But I still had meh expectations. I wasn't quite sure. Turned out to be really good. I didn't see Elio winning. Didn't see that coming. I mean, it just favors stock car guys, I feel like. But that proved tonight, the way Elio won it and the way Tony Kanaan ran the race, it's like, yeah, it's pretty equal. That and Marco Andretti had a great season last year, of course, too. So the open wheel guys can hang.
to Knoxville Raceway.
I just wish they would cut out with the bullshit yellows. Maybe just throw a caution halfway through the main and then see what happens. I don't know.
Over John Hunter Nemechek. Trevor, we were just talking about John Hunter Nemechek. What do you think here as the track continues to change? What do you foresee happening here?
Well, as Heather said, he's more comfortable.
Saw my post in the ship posting page. I never post there. I said I ran over so many people in GTA this morning. You should have put a 14 on my car.
Put on the right rear and make speed on corner exit. That's when it goes into buddy.
Keep an eye on Briscoe on the Indianapolis pit road later this year. That's the best chance. It's real narrow, like Gateway.
Wheel into it in the middle, and you're easy on the throttle getting in, easy on it getting off. That's more like short track racing, which is what John Hunter's grown up his whole life doing. So the more it moves to the bottom.
You know that Clint Boyer was voted most likely to commit vehicular manslaughter in high school? I'm kidding.
For a driver like John Hunter Nemechek, even if he is getting better on dirt.
That's a really good point. All right, so we're on a half-mile dirt track next week, though. Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville is going to be hot, which I think is going to be great for the Cup race and the Xfinity race. Just really glad I'm going to be at home watching it in air conditioning.
Music City.
Another one of the racetracks that they're going to have to adapt to. Trevor talked about at the very open of the show.
Stream schedule for next week to be determined.
Racetracks we've had over this last eight race run.
We've enjoyed it. I don't think the teams are loving it at this point unless they're winning.
I'll be watching that one up close and personal. I get to run the Xfinity race there next weekend. So.
Yes, Trevor. What do you have? 4 more races with
Four
Gibbs?
more. Yeah, I get Nashville, Loudon, Vegas, your hometown there, and then I get to go to Miami at the end of the year. So really looking forward to those races.
Yeah, you've been doing a great job there.
Thank you.
So next week, if I have to work Saturday evening, if I work Saturday morning, it's not a problem, or if I'm off, it's not a problem. But if I have to work Saturday evening, we will watch most of the Xfinity race because it starts at like 3 or 3:30. I'll stop to go to work. I'll set it to record, come back home that night, and watch the rest and live stream me watching it, but I won't be able to look at comments. I'm going to DVR the SRX race, and I will not stream it, but I'll DVR it and watch it like Sunday before the Cup race or something. But we'll see.
And really,
Been lucky lately with my job. I've only had to miss like one Xfinity race because of work, and the other Xfinity race I didn't stream, I was at. So
I'm just not winning in a dirt truck right now. We got to figure out what the issue is.
Oh, this doesn't look good. Tyler Ankrum, the 16, they just told him to come in because of that rear bumper bar.
Anchor's gonna whip it. Make that man pit.
Yeah.
Because that obviously could cut a tire down in a second.
Team that won this race a year ago.
We are going green. Todd Gilbert. Great launch, and he's on the preferred line on the bottom. How long can Nemechek hang on the top before Enfinger gets in there and takes his spot? That was not a great corner for John Hunter.
Todd Gilbert makes it work. He hangs on to the lead there. He's got Graham Enfinger in the
Gillen slid up. He slid off the bottom. Lost a lot of speed there. Nemechek's taking the lead from the top out of 4. Wow. That was a horrible corner. Gillen choked so hard there. Now John Hunter can just slot down in front of him and hold the bottom. He'll win the race.
Top work. John Hunter's going to move right back down to the bottom. Now he's going to slide up through the middle.
Missed it there again.
That's going to allow maybe Gillen to come up beside John Hunter.
Zane
Smith third, Friesen fourth. There's good trucks behind these two.
As a race car driver and his team and their adaptability. This is a place that I think he has circled on the calendar that says this is a throwaway. Doing a great job tonight, holding it steady on the bottom there in third as we ride with Stuart Friesen. Listen to that truck.
Yeah, that is Trevor. This is polar opposite to how that 38 right there is driving this racetrack. Zane Smith is driving this race.
Caution's out. Here we go, guys. Caution's out for a guy who drove straight off track into the pit. Oh, never mind. Tanner Gray stopped over there.
Tanner Gray. Brett Moffitt. Jeez, it looked like he had a shot to win it. Then he got black flagged for jumping the restart. Now his troubles.
Yeah, Moffitt's completely done now.
He's back in his pit.
Bad to worse for sure for that team.
Got to believe that maybe he and Tanner Gray got together.
Casgralla spun off a 2, hit the 91.
Colby Howard getting by on the inside.
And I don't know what happened to My opinion, he had nothing to do with that. So there were 2 accidents at the same time.
Oh, that's too bad. Came out just trophy hunting.
You can see the damage to the right front corner as well as that right front wheel.
Iowa native. Be pretty cool for him to get another win at this track, but he's legal age now, so. But his night is over early. Austin Wayne Self, usually in that 22 truck. He will be back at Mid-Ohio. Ty Majeski hanging in the top 10. As always, Josh, what are they saying?
Yeah, that's pretty good for a guy that always says he is not a dirt guy. Now for Ty, the thing is, he's been as good as the...
That was our first of 35 upcoming cautions.
He's trying to find a way to get track position and make some passes. So he said he tried some laps up top to see if that was any better. Well, after that caution came out, he came over the radio and said, I can't get anything done on the top. And he asked the guys, what do you see? What am I doing up there? Is there anything I'm doing wrong? They said, we can't see you doing anything wrong. But it's clear that the 66 prefers that bottom line to the top line, Heather.
Yeah, and somebody that also likes that top line is the 51 of Buddy Kofoid. His crew chief, Marty Lindley, asked him a few laps ago, have you figured out something or is the track coming to you? And he said both. The track is really changing right now to how I like it. He said it's hard to pass and you can't pass much. He goes, but I found a good line, and once again, that was the top. But when talking to Marty
Haley Deegan's 12th. She's still 11th. She's still running.
I can't believe how quickly he adapted to this
Still
race.
20 laps for her to get completely screwed.
Bristol and Knoxville, but he said he's really impressed with him early on when he got into the truck first time in it. And also he said he cannot wait to see him run a mile and a half because he thinks he is just going to be stellar out there.
Well, Buddy Kofoid running 8th right now. Very impressive. It's a lot of pressure, I would think, for a driver like him to step into that race truck. It's already won 3 times this year. Won the last 2 races with 2 different drivers, including team owner Kyle Busch last week. But this is why we are under caution. The 22 and the 15 of Tanner Gray on the right side here.
Looked like Tanner Gray, the 15, had trouble top side of the racetrack, and Brett ran into Brett. I think had committed to the top as well and ran into the left rear corner of the 15.
I gotta wonder where that left front damage came from. Maybe somebody hit him with the right rear and knocked him up there or something like that.
This place ain't even half full.
Same for both of those guys. You know, Buddy Kofoid was just talking about the top coming in from him at the same time that we're talking about the bottom being good, and that's the dirt racer, right? And you see Stuart Friesen jumping up there now. Now Buddy's jumping up there, and they're gonna find something. They're gonna keep working it. You know, I'm watching Stuart Friesen roll around under caution, and he's packing in that top, just trying to get everything he can worked in and get it ready to make a move. And really, you want your truck to work where nobody else is. That's how you make passes. So I think that's why you see these racers searching around some, trying to find something to make some passes.
Did he see himself
Said, "Hi, Mom."
on the Jumbotron?
I think so. But I think
Nobody can hear us, but they can see us.
I think that's the advantage to a guy with dirt experience has, because if he or Buddy Kofoid can be the first 2 guys to jump up there when the track changes, they may be able to pass 2-3 trucks like that really quick and really make a difference.
Problem is, we got spotters here, unlike the dirt racing they've been doing. So a couple laps later,
Friesen's gonna have to come in and get that weapon off the front of his truck. Look at that.
Right front of Stuart Friesen's truck.
Curb finder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Curb tickler.
Yeah, going to Ford when you're trying to get to the Xfinity Series is a bad idea. Ford has no presence in Xfinity. What the fuck is Haley Deegan gonna drive if she ever gets to Xfinity? Guess you could take Riley Herbst's ride if he's going to outdo her on sponsorship, I guess. But yeah, she's kind of fucked there. Going to Ford was a bad idea. They can get her back with Toyota. There's actually a path to get her moved up the ranks.
What are you hearing on Stuart Friesen?
Well, I just wanted to mention, obviously he's having fun out there waving to himself, but this guy runs dirt anytime he can. After this race, him and his wife Jessica and his son Parker, they're getting on a plane and headed back to Charlotte. Then 9 a.m. tomorrow, they'll be on a plane headed to Albany, New York. Then they will hop in their hauler and drive up to Devil's Bowl in Bear Haven, Vermont, where he's going to race.
They're going to go race in Vermont? Who the fuck goes to Vermont to do anything?
T-shirts out of their T-shirt trailer. So last year he ran he ran 78 modified races and won 34 of them alongside truck racing. This guy loves to race. Dirt's where it's at, and he's headed there Sunday as well, which is tomorrow.
A racing family through and through. Yes.
They're not making him pit to get that shit off of his front end?
And that means Father's Day,
Or did it fall off? I don't know, Fox. It's crappy camera work. I can't see.
Less than 20 laps to go to decide this one.
No, Friesen still has a weapon on the front of his truck, and they're going to let him come out here and race with this after they black flagged Ankrum earlier.
Or John Hunter Nemechek will be the control truck.
John Hunter's the leader. He picked the outside line.
On the inside.
Clears Gilliland. Don't get on the outside of Friesen. He'll stab you. You're going to get shanked. Great run off the top by Friesen. He's to second. Too loose. He almost spun out.
Like 1 and 2, it's okay. 3 and 4, they seem to really be struggling through the entry to center. But again, he's getting that great run on that.
Yeah, it looked almost like 3 and 4 was better that time. Let's see if he can hold. He's going to hold it here too.
One of the things he's struggling with are those ruts. When he gets up there,
My bet is in 9th place.
as soon as he figures out how to get the truck
10th place.
If he can, I think it could come to life for sure.
See, Buddy's also up there as well. Buddy Kofor,
Gotta plug my phone up.
On those old tires.
That top's looking really cool. That's a little too much. But it's looking good for Stewie right now.
Stewie is Mr. Showtime.
It's a great battle between a dirt guy and a pavement guy.
Well, he's enticed the pavement racers to the top with him, and now he goes to the bottom to see if he can figure it out. But, you know, kind of surprised to see John Hunter jump to the top so quick when he got to the lead on the bottom.
It looked like Stewart missed the bottom, went through the middle of the racetrack and lost all that ground.
Well, as John Hunter Nemechek.
Come on, 15 to go. Everybody behave.
World, 15 to go.
Todd Gilliland's overdriving the shit out of it and not making any ground on Nemechek. Derek Kraus into third. Red alert. It's Derek Kraus. And they still haven't black flagged Friesen like they did Ankrum, which I think is bullshit.
Derek Kraus. Derek should thank him. His truck has gotten shown more on TV tonight just because he's been racing with him so much.
Zane Smith got outside of Stewart. Looks like he's going to grab that 4th spot. Stewart back to 5th.
Stewart seems to be really good on the restarts and short runs, and it just fades pretty quickly for him. I don't know. I wouldn't think that's tire wear that quick, but he might just be too free on the longer run.
And we saw that.
Well, now Gilliland's put together a good lap here.
For sure.
So he got enough speed off the top. He does. This is going to be a battle right here. He just pulled up off the turn forward to Nemechek's bumper. Now Nemechek doesn't know what line to run. Nemechek moved up off the bottom to take Gilliland's line away. He got bumped. Still holds the lead. Gilliland's going to use the bumper. Nemechek's just trying to take his line away now. Here comes Kraus.
Finished third at Bristol earlier.
11 to go.
That was his best finish.
This could tie the record. This would be his 13th different win at a different racetrack. He's never won at the same racetrack twice.
Isn't that impressive? Zane Smith is on that.
Oh boy. Oh, Gilliland was inside. Here comes the slide job.
Todd Gilliland, can he make it stick this time?
Couldn't drive it in deep enough. He's just going to stay in his own lane. And at 5 to go, 10 to go, Gilliland's the leader. Not clear yet. Now he clears him in the center, 1 and 2. Nemechek's going to cross him over. And Kraus is like, please, God, take each other out. Gilliland's clear for the lead. Nemechek back to his quarter panel, though.
John Hunter looks to be too tight on the top. He needs that bottom to work. So now that they've switched lanes, I just don't see him fighting back.
9 laps to go. Caution's out. 24 stopped on track and backing into traffic. What the fuck?
Tries to get it going under his own power, and he does.
Oh, boy.
Instead of exhaust laying on the racetrack.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Things were going so well.
A restart inside of 10 laps to go.
Oh, boy.
It was already getting fun.
Yes, it was.
I'm glad somebody's having fun, because I'm not.
For a little while here.
As soon as this race is over, I'm stopping the stream. So be ready for a quick, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
15 to Tanner Gray, who had his issue earlier. He is the free pass. Had 9 cautions now tonight. 4 different leaders, 6 different lead changes. Feels like more than that, though. The kind of racing that we've had up front all night long.
Is Todd going to take the top on this restart?
I sure would think so.
I have to believe you.
I would think so.
We saw the jump Nemechek got from the top on that last restart.
Yeah, I think Stuart Friesen showed him something on the top there. They moved up, and now isn't that crazy how quick it changes? Everybody's fighting for the bottom, 1 caution. The next one comes out, they're all fighting for the top.
In a matter of a couple laps, it changed.
Todd Gilliland has never won on a dirt track either. Derek Krause sitting in 3rd in the 19. Never won a race, period.
Hey, Todd. Oh,
So
Todd.
on the line for these guys.
Sometime tomorrow, me and Dylan are going to play NASCAR Heat online and stream it. I think Dylan's coming back to hang out. So I'm going to stream some of that tomorrow. You should play with us so we can have 3 of us racing together.
Races.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for me. It'll be like tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, maybe early evening. I don't fucking know. Probably early, late afternoon.
Solid. He's been right around the backside of the top 10, but really nothing.
I'm going to message Dylan tomorrow and be like, hey, I'm awake. If you want to come hang out, and we'll play Heat 5.
Running in the top 10.
You know, as good as the 99 was early in the race at Ben Rhodes, I kind of looked for him to recover quicker, but he has worked his way into the top 15 now. He got that free pass on the last caution, and now he's in 15th. It'll be fun to watch him try to work his way.
SRX was good. Trek race has been meh.
Losing water early,
But there was a good battle here with Gilliland, Nemechek, and Krause for the win. We got a caution. They're going to restart with about 5 or 6 to go.
He's been through war there already.
Oh, it's your mom's birthday.
He's still got a good opportunity to
Well, maybe we'll be around and you'll catch us.
And you look at the regular season points right now, as they run the 4 back to the number 1 spot. He had a big hit in the points at Gateway a couple of weeks ago, went back to 5th, and came in here.
I got up at 7:30, but I went to bed after midnight. And I didn't sleep well. I can't sleep well at night unless I'm just flat out exhausted. I really wasn't that tired. I just took a nap. It felt like I just took a half-assed nap and then went to work.
You could go to Victory Lane tonight.
And now I'm looking forward to dipping into a 12-hour coma if I have my way here in a little while.
That's right. He deserves it. That team's been working really hard. They've been so good on the dirt tracks. Had a good race a couple of weeks ago, running up front at Gateway.
Brought a great crew chief on board, Shane Wilson. A lot of experience in all 3 of the divisions of NASCAR. Multi-time winner in Xfinity and Truck Series.
Brendan Gaughan's crew chief for years and years and years. Lived out in Las Vegas for a while. Been around. Knows how to...
We're going to restart with 4 to go. And there still could be plenty more than that to go.
We will take the green flag with 4 to go.
You know, we were worried about Hosemar's nose after the heat races. Look at every single truck out here now. Maybe not the Ford truck. He looks like the only one that has his full nose piece still on the truck.
I think just about every one of these trucks will have to have door tops down after this race.
Looking back in the field, Haley Deegan back in 13th. She can finish there. That would be her best finish of the year.
Solid run all night.
Yeah, really good. All right.
It's a nice paint scheme on Chandler Smith's truck. Seeing it for the first time. 4 to go. Gilliland, Nemechek, Krause, and Zane Smith. I think Gilliland and Nemechek might very well kill each other here and hand the race to somebody else.
Here we go.
Great launch by Gilliland. He just obliterated Nemechek there. 4 laps. Nemechek made it back up through 2. Although now Zane Smith's to his outside. And they're both packing it down into 3. And Zane Smith has serious... Gilliland has been getting looser and looser around the top of 4 every restarter. So driving just a little harder. Although now he put together a good corner there. Zane Smith too loose on the outside to do anything with him. Nemechek clears him for second. Now Nemechek's taking Zane Smith's line. He's more worried about keeping Smith behind him than catching Gilliland now. Look at Gilliland stretching it out. 2 to go. Yeah, this race is over as long as they make it back to the Watt. God knows they won't.
Right back down to the bottom. Stewart's down there as well. John Hunter's going to get by easily.
Derek Kraus looked back a few spots.
Oh no, Kraus, it's time for you to start doing what you did last year. Oh my God, white flag. Jesus Christ, it's going to end. White flag. Gillen out front by about a second. Anticlimactic finish, but at least it's going to end. And Derek Kraus is all over Majeski. Almost spun himself out. Oh, look at Todd Gillen actually going to win. He almost lost it off of 4. Gilliland wins. Nemechek second. Zane Smith third. These goddamn Cup drivers. I'm kidding. Gilliland doesn't qualify as a Cup driver even though he has a full-time Cup ride. But anyway, that's that. I'm tired. This race is over. I fulfilled my promise to you and streamed these races. Had fun with the SRX. And yeah, I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow. I think I'm going to play NASCAR Heat with Dylan. So keep an eye out for me. Come hang out if you just want to watch us race and bullshit. Till then, good night, Godspeed, don't eat the yellow snow. And Clip Boyer's a murderer.